Ah, such a great song. Okay. There we are. Whoa. Hi, YouTube. What's up? How you guys doing? How are you guys doing with the volatility today? I've had some messages. I know some people are doing good. I also know some people are not doing very well. So in today's live stream, we're not only going to talk about some technical analysis on the chart and Elliott waves, we're also going to talk trading psychology. Now, just 10 minutes ago, I was live for Discord for about 45 minutes, guys. Many of the Discord lads are in here as well. We spoke about a bit of trading psychology, but I think it's important, so I want to continue build on trading psychology as well in general, because I think mental is very important. But we're also going to do some, of course, technical analysis on the chart. We're going to do some Elliott waves, and I have other stuff to show you, which I think is important. First of all, good to see you all here. Where are you guys actually from? Let's have a little bit of a look. So let me write where you're from. I'm from the Netherlands. I live in Gouda. You know the Gouda cheese? Gouda cheese? You know, that place. That's where I'm from. Crypto Blinder, Incredible Sub-Zero, Marcus Lenzer. That badge is looking very nice indeed. Good to have you around once again, man. Bitphantom, Ruan Satyajith. Yeah, that's a name and a half. QZ World. Papa Live. What's up, my man? Yeah, if I'm the king, you're the queen, mate. Rasko Schnellbach. Sounds German. How are you guys doing? Or how are you doing, I should say. Crypto Night, YGG, I will note that down. Remind me later, Crypto Night, because we might have some time for that. Farshad Farouk, always there as well. Flutty, how you doing? Good to see you as well. Captain Gary was there just now. Three streams in 1 hour. We're doing good. Amir Suleiman, how you doing? Welcome. Okay, there we go. The countries. Lucky is from Austria. Amir from Syria. Flotty, Australia. Wait. AT. I can't see the flag, so I don't know if you're on a phone, but I see AT. I don't know if that's Australia or Austria. Either or, really. Serdar Dinksoy. Turkey. I've been to Turkey, Istanbul, as well as on holiday to another place that I forgot, but I was in Istanbul this year for the Global Esports Federation. What championship did we have? Global Esports Federation Championship. I was there in Istanbul. I got a hoodie with Istanbul and everything. Ich komme aus Argentina. Sure, I live in Ireland though. There you go. Roscoe, so Syria, Germany, Kenya, Bolivia. Well, I actually wanted to backpack Bolivia a couple of years ago, but I chose South Africa instead. And South Africa, that was 2017. Backpacked South Africa instead of Bolivia. And what's the result of my trip to South Africa? Marrying a South African 7 years later. Yeah, the results of a trip, right? Inigo, welcome, man. Basque country. Pakistan in there. Sri Lanka, beautiful. Toronto, I know, Red Loop, I know. Hoofddorp. Kijk, lekker Nederlands. We got some Dutchies in here. Hoofddorp. That's nice. Actually, my dad used to work in Hoofddorp. Dublin, Nigeria, Mongolia, Lebanon, UK. Holy moly, guys. Mod Alassi, welcome. Robot, Hogster, good to see you here. HRME. Okay, Doug, the things women do to escape bad countries. There's many bad countries. Am I the only lady here? Possibly. Lady from Thailand, that is. Welcome as well. Thailand, one of my friends was with his girlfriend backpacking in Thailand. They saw the craziest rainstorm ever. We have Claudia here as well, so you're not alone. And Canada, another lady from Berlin. Okay, what we're going to do is we go through some Elliott waves first, then we talk trading psychology, and then, we're going to see where it brings us. But I love being live on YouTube. So what we're going to do is have a lot of interaction tonight. We're going to chat. I'm going to keep my eyes on the chat, but I will do that after the analysis, so that the people that are here purely for Elliott Waves and the analysis, they can be here and then they can leave if they want to. But for the people that love to hang out, I love to hang out as well. So that's a great combination. We can have some fun before eventually I take my ass to the gym tonight. Yeah, I still want to gym actually. So let's start. First things first. It might be a bit repetitive at some points in time because, well, that's a bullish scenario, but let's start over here. Prices move. We're not even going through the medium time frame. You've seen the video. Let's talk about what changed compared to the previous video, right? So in the previous video, when price was, where was price? Price was ranging. Price was like out and about, like it was around this level, right? We were talking about a high probability or the higher probability for bearish price action to at least take this low. Now in the bullish scenario, that would mean that instead of this being the low of a C, I mentioned I would like another low, but then on lower volume. Because if we're talking about a 5-wave move, what you want to see is you want to see a wave 3 on high volume, then you want to see a wave 4, and then a wave 5, a new low made on lower volume, right? Well, clearly we didn't get lower volume, we got an increased volume, increasement in volume. And this was the most common target area for potential C, and then an ABC, which we are now, we're below that area. But if we also look at the chart, and you will hear me say this quite often in the videos as well, is that for a wave 3, or an impulse in general, but especially for a wave 3, what you want to see is a parabolic move and volume increasing. I spoke about it in the most recent video, 1 p.m. Central East European time video as well, the latest one, where I said, for a wave 3 at the end in the probability section, if you go all the way to the end of the video, you hear me saying like for a wave 3, we want to move down, right? High volume, impulsivity, big candles, that's what we want to see. So far, so good. Now the fact that price over here made a new low on higher volume indicates to me that this over here does not look like a wave 5, because then you want to have lower volume, but we got increased volume. So that increases the probabilities, because it's a probabilities game, that this is still part of a wave 3 for lower prices. If we then look at what we're going to be looking for, we're going to be looking for eventually a bigger range to form, because then we have this scenario over here. Let me put it on the chart, this one. We then have wave 1, wave 2, very short in time, right? Very uncommon, such a short wave 2. But, nice zigzag, wave 2, it's the way it is. Moving to the downside in a wave 3. It hit the 1.618. What is the target? The minimum target that we want to see? It's the 1.618, which it now hit, right? For a wave 3. Increases the probabilities of a wave 3, decreases the probabilities. This over here was an A, B, and a wave C, right? Now, usually the 1.618 in an impulsive structure will give at least some form of a reaction or some form of a range. If the 1.618 is passed, the next target to often look for is the 2.618, which is sitting at 26.6, right? Let's open our target areas, which is basically in between the blue one and the yellow one. And I'll explain in a second why I made this one yellow compared to my previous video. But currently we're on top of the 1.618, bit of support as you can see. Let's see how price reacts, because we don't know what price is going to do. We can only play probabilities and we can observe what price is doing. Also, we don't FOMO, YOLO, and we don't catch knives on this channel. So based on the local market structure, probabilities are higher for a move to the downside because of the volume, which is very wave 3-ish and not very wave 5-ish for a move to the upside. And what we're going to be looking for is a long wave 4 if we think about this impulsive scenario, because we then have a wave 3 to the downside in the bearish scenario, right? We're looking for the end of a wave 3 eventually, but a wave 3 can be very extended. So we don't really know, like, is this the low of 3? Are we going to get lower, right? It can be a very extended structure. So eventually what we're looking for is we are looking for a long wave 4. And the reason I like to highlight a long wave 4 is because we had a very short wave 2. And the rule of alternation in Elliott waves tells us that if you get, most commonly a wave 2 is short and deep. And then if that is the case, wave 4 tends to be long and shallow. So what we're going to be looking for is a long and shallow wave 4. Now this over here for me is too short to be a wave 4 of the same degree, so a green wave 4. Also, the fact that price made a new low on higher volume indicates that we're very higher probability still in a wave 3 to the downside with lower prices to be expected. Now if we look to the support areas that I have down here, and I'll show you another interesting thing in a second, but the support areas, right, the blue one, let me show you what's inside so you actually know, what I'm looking at. So first of all, this blue box, it's not the, I've actually had a bit of a check just now in the live stream for Discord that I did before this public one. So we have a monthly level, which is an interesting level at 27.2K. Then we got some volume levels, previous range, point of control value area high, value area low, but that's from quite a, that's quite a low time frame range compared to what we're looking at. So it's not the strongest support, right? Like we do have the golden pocket that if I zoom out, and this might actually be very messy. So let me quickly turn this off. If we take a fib from the low to the high, and we toggle on the golden pocket, then you can see the golden pocket is on top of the blue box. That's why I write GP, which stands for golden pocket. Now the golden pocket, always gives a bit of a reaction. So we have to wait and see how price is going to react around the golden pocket. And then of course we also have that monthly, which is a horizontal time frame level inside the golden pocket. So you can expect at least a bit of a reaction over here. And then we observe price action. But the reason why this is blue and this is yellow, considering the target boxes, that is, has to do with the confluence inside the target boxes. And in my opinion, the yellow one is stronger. It's a stronger support area. So in the yellow one, okay, we have a monthly here and you see a daily. Usually a monthly is better. However, if we open my high time frame naked point of controls, you can see there's a monthly naked point of control at 26,450. And we have a daily naked point of control at 26,425, plus the daily, plus the 786 fib from the pool I just did, makes this, and for me, a more interesting level than the one above. We observe the reactions, and that's how we do. Talking about observing the reactions, let me show you what I was looking at today, which was in this range over here, right? We made a low, observing the reaction. What do I look at? And I think it's best explained to quickly go to, because I have a screenshot I want to show you that I've drawn it perfectly. By the way, props to KG for sharing his analysis in the group. Over here, this is the same range. Lower high in price, higher high CVD. Bearish CVD divergence, another bearish CVD divergence, and we had the bullish one. But as I explained in the update that I made earlier today, we have a high volume low over here, which at the time, as you can see, was the highest volume low. Lowest probabilities of the bullish CVD divergence playing out. And we're in a bearish trend to the downside, which increases the probabilities for the bearish CVD divergences to play out, and also increases the probabilities for the bullish scenario to be leading, or the bullish CVD divergences to be leading divergences, meaning that price follows the CVD to the downside. So we're on a 1 minute here. Let's go to the 15. So that means that price here, right, the CVD line moves to the downside. You can see if I put my cursor on yellow over here, actually take the low, so this green candle, you can see on the right side that price moves below this level, below the yellow line over here, right? Clearly, that's a bullish CVD divergence. Also on blue, even with the low on the chart as well, by the way. Also with the blue line, you can see it's moving below. We didn't take the low just yet, right, over here. But we already have bullish CVD. The thing is, you have bearish CVD and you're in a trending environment, which gives a lot more risk to trading the bullish side. Trade with the trend. The trend is your friend, the quote is. And then there's another part of the quote that says, till it's not, or I don't know. Yeah, that is important. Now, another thing I'd like to show you is the volume profile, which was part of my, I believe, previous video or the one in the morning. Ta-da! If we zoom out quickly, there it is. So moving inside this volume profile, by the way, taken for the new viewers maybe, from this range over here. So it's this, and I just extended the lines myself, just some horizontals. And price had support on the value area high, moved down, actually didn't retest that area, just went straight to the point of control, which can give a little bit of support, as mentioned in the video, because over a couple of weeks time, the point of control was the area where most of the volume has been traded. So it's a very important area. You can expect price to maybe range a little bit around this area, see what it does, observe the reaction. But it's an area of interest, but also the value area low is very interesting now that price entered the value area at 26.2K. And guess what? That is the area of the yellow target box as well. So that is a very important area for me. And first we observe the reaction here locally, but I love CVD. I always keep my eyes on CVD as well, see what's happening on the lower time frames. When we find some support, currently it's a bit too early to tell what is happening here. We have the 1.618 as I have just shown you in this area, which is, as you can see, the green line. Zoom out. There you go. The 1.618 acting as a little bit of support here. Point of control. We just observed the reaction again, no? We had a bit of bullish CVD divergences on the 1 minute, very low time frame. Higher low in price, lower low in yellow. Bit of bullish CVD, price moving up. But it's, I prefer to use it on the 15 minute. And not like 1 minute, but that's for the scalpers. My strategy that I've developed is 15-minute time frame, so I prefer to use and check stuff on the 15. So now we just wait patiently and see what happens here. Are we going to get a bit of a bounce or not? We can only wait. So if we look at the more bullish scenario, before that we then continue talking about other topics, because this of course is the bearish scenario, where in the bearish environment you're looking for C. Over here is then wave C, or the target area for C between 27.2K and 26.4K. And the FIB time, usually wave C ends behind or after the 1-to-1, which is positioned on Saturday, because wave C tends to be a bit more lazy, take a bit more time than a wave A. And also, if we are still looking for 1, 2, and currently still working on a 3, you still expect a 4 and a 5. So I'm pretty confident that if this is a wave C, or at least a wave C of this particular scenario, that we are going to end it after the 1-to-1. But in my high time frame, macro and high time frame video, I also mentioned that depending on the wave 3 that you get to the downside, you could potentially, but that depends on the structure, look for this to be a higher time frame 3-wave structure, where you're going to be looking for this. There we go, right? Where instead of finding support at this wave C and then a move up in a wave A or 1, looking for a wave B or 2, and then up for 3 or C, depending on the move to the downside, you could potentially look for lower targets. But that depends. It's too early to tell, right? We didn't invalidate. We didn't take this low yet. We didn't even get to the wave C target area. Very early to tell. But at least, I want to at least show you what I'm looking at and how the different scenarios might play out depending on what we see locally. The bullish scenario that I've shown in the video earlier was this one. Now we, clearly went below the 0.5, so at least that one has been hit. Most common target for 2 is between the 0.5 and the 786. And then you want to see an impulse. Now, more locally, we were then potentially looking for a 3-wave structure in this, WXY. I mentioned, higher probabilities for the bearish scenario, but then in a wave Y, you could have been looking for an ABC. Most common target is this area over here, which we have now passed. It doesn't really look that great, right, for a 3-wave structure. So lower probabilities for the bullish scenario, higher probabilities for the bearish scenario at the moment, which has been the same for quite a while already. And this is the current state. Also, we now move below this support resistance area, which I think is interesting to show you. So look, support resistance, sometimes people joke maybe a little bit about support resistance. I know some traders that trade this very successfully. I just use it as an additional confluence. Support, resistance. Over here, well, this was resistance, support, resistance, maybe back to support, but if you go to the 4 hour, you know, bit of support, move down, it could now act as resistance and maybe like do something like this and move to the area below. Guess where that area is? The yellow target box. Very interesting. So we have some, you know, another support resistance flip in that area. And that is the current state of what I'm looking for. So I am a reactive trader, right? I trade based on what I see, not catching nice, FOMO, YOLO. I observe the reaction before I make decisions. And yeah, over here, CVD showed bearish CVD divergences. You're in a trending environment, bullish CVD, higher probability of being leading, and it was. And now we just wait and see what we get over here. Yeah. Probabilities are higher though for downside. Okay, that's the analysis part. So let's see what you guys have been writing, and then let's go to trading psychology, because I actually want to talk to you about what I have done the past few days from a trading psychology point of view, because trading, it's more like, I think it's more about mental control and emotional stability than it is about the actual art of trading itself. Of course, you need technical or fundamental analysis, you know, whatever you use. But it's like, you know the typical quote, 80% is technical for the fundamental analysis, or sorry, 80% is mental and 20% is technical or fundamental analysis. But 80% of trading is actually your mindset and your emotions. And I always love working on emotional stuff, so I'm going to talk about that in a second. So let's put this on the chart, and I also want to have the volume profile on here. Where is it? Before I check what you guys been up to. Let's scroll up a little. Okay, probably knowing probabilities is calmness in trading. Yes. You're Inigo, mate. You're jumping straight to the point here. I want to talk about the mental stuff. He's like, boom, knowing probability is calmness in trading. That is true. That is true. It's not like, that's one of the points I want to talk about. This guy, like he was also in the Discord stream. Yeah, there is a video in Discord only content here. Track statistics, counter emotions. I'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, Captain Gary, it's nice to see you around, man. I reckon like the people that come back regularly, I just recognize. You know, but that's fun. I love it. Leytonstone Road. If we are in a wave 3, what is the highest price a wave 4 can go? Highest is allowed. Highest is the 0.5 fib. So with this particular count, let me clean up the chart. You know, I don't like messy charts. So if we think about this, right? 1, 2, currently on a 3. Now imagine, hypothetically speaking, no? That this is the low. For me personally, even if this is a wave 3, I prefer to see a low on lower volume. So I want to see another low, because even in a wave 3, you want to count 5 waves. So just shortly explain. So you have a 1, 2 on, so this over here, right? The green 1, 2, looking for the green 3. But inside the green 3, you're also looking for, again, a 5-wave structure where the same rules apply. You have a wave 3, want to see a wave 4, and then a wave 5, preferably, by far most commonly, on lower volume. So as price continues to the downside and volume is increasing, the probabilities are higher for the temporary low, or the start of a, temporary low for then the end of a wave 3 to not be in. As long as we don't make a new low on lower volume, wave 3 just continues. But theoretically speaking, if this is the high of 2 and this would be the end of 3, right? You take a fib from the high of 2 to the low of your wave 3. You toggle on these fibs over here because wave 3 is extended. So these are then the fibs to look for. And then these are going to be your areas of interest. Let me do this. And let me go to the 15. Move it to the right. There we go. So wave 4 can retrace to the 0.5. That's fine, but you don't want to see candles closing above the 0.5. And depending on the time frame, I would say hourly candles. And the 0.5 is at 28, well, 6K, as you can see over here on the right. So that would be a maximum. If you go above this level, it's unlikely to be a wave 4. The 618 is very rare, but usually it's you don't want to see that. Any candle closing above the 0.5 is kind of like invalidating a wave 4. The most common target area for a wave 4 is around the 382. So that is always an important level. And then the 0.5 to the 382 is like the second, I suppose, common target. So between this area, and then the 236 to the 382. The 146 is very rare. That's a very, very shallow retracement. But if we talk about wave 2 being very short and deep, wave 4 being long and like shallow, then shallow, the 382 is very often the most important fib to keep in mind. So that is the one to look for. Sorry, Dog, I guess you posted maybe a link in the message, so it got auto-deleted by YouTube. Ways of the Jedi. The trend is your friend till the end. Exactly. Good evening. Yo, LJ, what's up? How you doing? Good to see you around. LJ on a little break, trading break. If you draw a fib from the low made at the 24 to the high made at 31, you'll see that the 786 is right on top of that value area low. Yes, that is also why I have a target box there. Right, like I look for confluences, and then if they're interesting enough, I put a target box at that area. There is a CME gap at around the 618 if I'm correct. That might be some interesting confluence. I actually don't trade CME gaps, but it could fill the gap. Ismail, how you doing? Good to see you again. Ismail back in the stream. Nice video, mate. Hugely appreciate it. Well, thanks for being here. Without you guys over here, I wouldn't be talking. Or I would make my video and go offline again. I love my parabolic SARs, buddy. Be lost without them. Have a custom setting. Gives me excellent trend entries. Yeah, I mean, indicators can be useful. Can definitely be useful. Papa, how much percentage you think the price can go down? Oh, yeah, that... First of all, we cannot hope. We cannot think. There's no certainties. There's only probabilities. Based on the probabilities as explained earlier in the video, for the ones that are here specifically for the analysis, go to the start of the video or like go back in time of the stream. But based on probabilities, price is moving down, volume is increasing. And what I always say in the content is what you want to look for in a wave 3 or in an impulse is price moving parabolic with volume increasing. Parabolic to the downside in this case, volume increasing. How far can price go? We don't know. Will price go here to the upside? We don't know. But we can only play the probabilities, and based on probabilities, more downside is expected. But of course, going to the downside comes with some bounces, like over here, some ranges in between. We don't know how low it can go. However, the area of, the area of 26.2, 26.4 over here is very interesting. So if, and that's the thing, right? If price comes to this area, because we don't know, but if it does, I am interested. And that doesn't mean that I immediately enter because I don't catch knives, right? Like, I burned myself at the beginning. So I wait for the reaction. And based on the reaction, I might enter. So Elliott Waves for me is directional bias. I use Elliott Waves as a bias for where like the trend basically. But I don't actually trade Elliott Waves. At least it's not my main strategy. I mean, maybe sometimes I do, but rarely. But my main strategy is actually a separate entry strategy. And I use Elliott Waves for directional bias. Which can help with targets. Cedric Bryce, how you doing? Welcome. My P&L reflects that I catch knives. Yeah, but it's good. Like, look, if you have a strategy that is good with catching knives, then, all props to you because, it's not easy. Probably using some order flow, maybe some CCTR templates as well. But I just don't because I get hurt. But any strategy can be profitable as long as you have a system, you have entry requirements, you track your statistics. You know, it takes work, takes time, but that's how you get there. Not just impulsively buying or selling, but actually have a system, entry requirements. You tick all the boxes. I always have over here a map with my strategy entry requirements. And before I enter, I always tick the boxes of my entry requirements on paper and not on a digital screen. Because in order for me to check the entry requirements, I want my head out of the screen on paper. So I just check, check, check. Of course, I have to look on the chart to see if they're if the entry requirements are met. But I don't want to go over it digitally. I want to check it on paper. But any strategy can be profitable. I know people doing trend lines. I know people that are doing candlestick patterns, I suppose, like dojis and the hanging man and those stuff. So it can be very profitable as long as you have a strategy, like a certain rules. Rootswear Farms, welcome man, how you doing? Your audio is very low. I haven't yet heard it, but if my audio is low, everyone, make sure to let me know and I can still crank it up a little bit. But I think it should be good. I've never actually had that comment. But I might have to just talk louder. But maybe up the volume. That's always the question, right? Up the volume or up the mic. Dog, hit the like button, please. Thanks, man. Appreciate the support. LJ, all good here. Starting to trade again after the weekend now in listening mode on the bike. Always on the bike, this LJ. So Dutch. He's so Dutch. Ahmed Mert, Koenz, what is your opinion with this extend and reach a 1.618 of the first wave? Well, the fact that it reached the 1.618 now, over here, taken from the high to the low of 1 to the high of 2, increases the probability we're in a wave 3. The thing with a wave 3, however, is it can extend a lot, so we don't know how far it can go. We do know, at least I know based on experience, that the 1.618 at least tends to give a bit of a reaction. But based on the probabilities at the moment, it's not like the higher probability is that wave 3 is not yet finished because price made a new low compared to this one on higher volume. So yeah, the probabilities are higher. It's a wave 3 because we hit the 1.618, which is a rare target for a wave C and a common target for a wave 3. Gianlu, first time I come here. We are all expecting last dump before the big pump. Possibly, but I don't think this is, so as mentioned, the last dump, let's say. But that depends on what we see locally. We always have to observe the reaction. But I went through my Elliott Wave analysis earlier in the video at the beginning, so you can always go back to check the analysis itself. But what you actually want to see, if this is, if this is like an impulsive structure, what you want to see for an impulse to end is to have another low, but on lower volume. As long as price is moving to the downside like this in a parabolic structure and volume is increasing, it's very much impulsive, right? The probabilities are higher to continue to the downside. However, continuing to the downside will go in waves, right? We always have a bounce, and a bounce, and a bounce, and maybe a bounce, and another bounce. So, but yeah, we observe the reaction. And of course, with all the videos I make, I always give you probabilities at the end of the videos. We observe what's happening at the moment. So I prefer to use the 15-minute time frame for CVD. I don't really go too low, but because this is so low that CVD divergences can play out before you've even mentioned it. But we have some bullish CVD divergences. Maybe this high gets taken, but we're in a downtrend, so higher probability of it being leading. I prefer to wait for more price action over here give it a bit of time, some more 15-minute candles. You know, I want to see, just give it more time. But also, John Lu, welcome. Good to see you around. Like the live, guys. Come on. Drop likes that don't cost a single cent. Show your appreciation. Like the video. Thanks, man. I'm not really a salesperson. I don't really ask. If people like the video, they know where the button is. You know, if people, same with the memberships. I never mention it. I never mention the YouTube memberships in the video because you know, people see the button. It's in the end screen. I don't have to mention it. I'm not too salesy. I just like to provide value more than not. Max downside is the 4.618. I mean, I have seen impulses going past the 4.618. So it all depends on just how the waves are forming as well. So I know that, for example, what is that website? The Elliott Wave. Like there's one website that says 4618, but you know, impulses can extend immensely, also past the 4618. So it's, you know, I don't have a max target for wave 3. The only thing that I look for is the 1.618 respected or not. If this one fails, I tend to then go for the 2.618, 3.618. You do see I also have 2, 3 on here. I actually got a 236 here. Do I have the 4? Oh, I have a 4, 236. I actually don't know why I have the 236, but I tend to keep my eye on the 2.618s and the 3.2 ones. Brother OP analysis. Overpowered. Thanks, Zainab. Welcome, man. What do you think about RSI divergences? I don't use RSI. RSI is a lagging indicator, and in a trend, for me, RSI doesn't really work. I know people that, you know, then again, it can work. I know people that trade RSI, and there's many Elliott Wavers that use RSI, but I don't. Because CVD for me is much, like, it's off the scale better than RSI, in my opinion. But that is my opinion, which then it fits my style of trading. While RSI can be, for example, right? RSI can be, I have no idea what RSI is doing, but I can imagine it's overbought because someone mentioned it in Discord. The thing with RSI is, in a trend, it just, you know, it doesn't really work because it can be overbought for such a long period of time, but price just keeps going. And then when you get a little bounce, it might go back from like to 50 before you then back to oversold, not overbought. So, oh, we're oversold. Okay, we go back to 50. Oh, we're oversold. Okay, back to 50. Oh, we're oversold again. Oh, back to 50. You know, and it's a momentum indicator, but in a trending environment, it's difficult to really trust RSI unless you have a wave 3, 4, and then a wave 5, where you might spot some divergences. But then again, you can have a 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, where you have RSI divergence. Oh, is the trend over? No, it's not, because we have another wave 4, another wave 5. Oh, more divergence. More. So, yeah, I prefer to use CVD. Philip Walsh, first time here. Great analysis. Thank you. Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate you're here, man. I appreciate it. 25k probably the bottom if we get there. It's definitely an interesting area. Absolutely. Elliott Wave tells me the last dump is 27.5. After that, it's all pump. Yeah, that might be possible. That might be possible. 27.5. That is the blue target box area that I have over here. It depends on how price, you know, moves towards this area. Because I'm still waiting for a proper wave 4. So this is a nice 2. That's great. Very short in time. Because this wave 2 is so short, I'm looking for a long sideways range for a wave 4. And because this latest low is on the highest volume we had so far, probabilities are, you know, at the moment lower that this is the low of 3. Because even in a wave 3, you want to see another 5 on lower volume. Then, so that is then the low of 3. So then you have, you know, you want to see 5 waves in the 3, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where wave 5 has lower volume than the highest amount of volume in the trend so far. Then you have green 4, green 5, and then we can look for a bigger bounce. In a bearish scenario, that is, right? This is the bearish scenario. Oh man, I'm falling behind. Oh my god, I'm never gonna keep track of what Okay. I'm going through everything very quick. Coming up on 20th of August, potential reversal. Could be interesting. What's that? 3 days. That's quick. May I ask what's your entry strategy? I can't, like, you know, I've been working on that for years, so I can't just throw it out there. But I am planning to teach people. So that can be interesting. And after... So I'll actually be abroad for like 3 weeks, but I try to keep making content. I will let you guys know next week. But after that, I'm planning to also open a new membership where I teach the strategy I use with all the entry requirements and everything. Because, you know, there's a lot of work years of work going into building a strategy. It takes a lot of work. No issues with audio. That's good. The legend is spitting the truth about strategy and rules. Yo, Kenny. What's up, Kenny? Audio is good. Best content that we see on YouTube. Thank you very much, man. Do work well. Thanks, Risco. I'm curious about the first wave, which started... from 31.8K. Is that a wave 1 or C? Oh, this one. Oh, for me, this is at the moment a wave A. So a 5-wave structure. Not a wave, so you can't count this anymore as a wave C from up here. It's impossible to still try to count this as a C wave in total. It's better to count it as like a 3-wave structure where you can have an impulse A, B, looking for impulse C in this scenario. This is good to learn that you don't use Elliott for trading. You like to see, yeah, Ismail, exactly. Ahmed Mert, by the way, welcome. But Ismail, yeah, I like to use entry requirements. Can you show your inner counts? So this is like this. Let me go over bullish. You know, doesn't look too great at the moment. Low time frame bullish below the wave C target area for a potential ABC locally, of then a bigger WXY. So it doesn't look too great. Medium time frame bear, wave C. Spoke about that in many videos. Low time frame is then currently working on 3, then having a 4 and a 5. And that's it, basically. That was very quick. 12K BTC, sure. We're currently at 28, so who knows? But on the macro, I still expect more upside, to be honest, which you can check out my macro Elliott Wave video where I do have a bearish, but also a bullish scenario, which is in a nutshell. This is the bullish one, upside, of course, and then the bearish one, where I actually also still expect bit more upside, 39.50K before then potentially down, but it all depends on this area if it's bull or bear. But you can go to the playlist on my YouTube channel for the high time frame and macro. Every week on Sunday 7 p.m. I upload a high time frame and macro analysis. Mikhail, welcome, man. Good to see you around. Good to see you. Exactly, John Lu. You know, we'll see who's right, and also Elliott Waves is constantly about adjusting your count as well. It's always evolving and trading, and always new probabilities. And at the end of every video, I always share the probabilities as well. Where is my Oh, there it is. Whoops. This is from the 1 p.m. video. I didn't change it. You know, medium time frame bear. We were looking for downside. I spent 3 years learning everything crypto, and at some point I learned how to trade, lost myself into an indicators. Elliott Waves gave me a new perspective. Elliott Waves is great. It's like reading a book. That's what I like about it. How low can we go? The everlasting bliss. We can go pretty low. What's the difference between blue and yellow CVD? Yellow is Bybit CVD. That's the one I used to have because I traded Bybit in the past. So I used Bybit CVD and I got used to it. And the blue one is aggregated CVD. I have a CVD video on my channel, which is on the home screen. So I can advise you to check that one out as well, Anton. And also, Anton, the badge is looking very good. Thanks for being a member, mate. Recently joining as well. 12K BTC, I just answered that. After what time did you start living only from the market? Well, I started to become consistently profitable. Okay, trading journey in a nutshell. I think that's quite interesting. Let me open the target boxes, by the way, in the meantime, and also volume profile, because we're still around the point of control. My trading journey in a nutshell. Actually, let's remove everything. This can be fun, or at least wasn't fun at the beginning. So volume out. I started, and I remember it very well. I started in, where's 2021 here, Feb 2021. What's this vertical? What? Yeah, this is where I started, and my first trade ever was not on Bitcoin, it was on Ethereum. I remember so well. I entered 975. I had no stop loss. My liquidation was my stop loss. I was incredibly emotional, like you have no idea. I came back from visiting friends with my fiance, now fiance, then girlfriend. I was on the train station. I opened my laptop when I got out of the train. I saw Ethereum pumping. I was like, fuck, I gotta get in. 975 was my entry. My liquidation was 863 or 868. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no analysis. I saw a pump. I wanted to enter. All my money was in that trade, like my savings. You know, everything was in my account. I had no clue. I was awake till 4 a.m. in the morning because of my emotions. Couldn't sleep. Like I was like, you know, holding my head and all the stuff, price ticking up and all the typical stuff. I was eventually like, fuck it. Next morning, I either wake up in profits or I lost everything. I woke up in profits, made 12K at that moment. I was like, wow, you know, great. First trade ever, 12K. Hey. Then I bought 1 Bitcoin because that's all I could buy at the time, which was about, wait, that wasn't that area. Oh, wait, we're on the weekly. Let me go to the daily here. Because then I bought 1 Bitcoin. Because I was able to buy 1 Bitcoin, right? And then market moved up. Oh no, wait. Because then we had ranging. That was the thing. I remember we had some ranging. I lost everything because I couldn't cope with my emotions of price having these down days. So I lost not everything, but I lost all my profits and a bit more. And then I was like, you know what? I just buy Bitcoin and whatever, because it's going to 300K because I followed MM Crypto and the fucking Moon Boys. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hold to whatever infinity. I was 30K in profit. I remember very nicely. I was 30K in profit here. I even told my fiance. The price of the market moved down. I had no clue. I literally rode the whole shebang to the downside. Never forget. And I was holding. Price moved up. And that, like, so by the way, in a nutshell, once I incurred those losses in this area, that is when I started to be like, okay, wait, I had my first trade a winner, then I bought a Bitcoin, then I lost everything. And that was the moment I switched on and like, okay, I got to now learn. I have to learn this. I'm interested. How does it, there must be something. So this is the moment over here when I started to deep dive into technical analysis. And in February, that's the moment I started to learn Elliott Waves. That was the beginning of my journey. But still, I was such an amateur in trading. I was still learning. I just all the way to the downside, of course, lost all those profits, still holding on, then went to the upside. Then I literally, I'm not kidding, I sold here at break even. Fuck me, no profit. So missed out on the whole pump because, of course, I was like, it's going to retrace. It didn't. So anyway, when did I start to become profitable in trading? Because this was holding. I started to become profitable in trading over here. Funny enough. Not because it was the beginning of a bear market, but this is the moment, like throughout everything I'm explaining over here was me holding onto a Bitcoin. But at the same time, I was studying. At the same time, over here already, I was tracking statistics. I was trying to build a trading plan, actively trading the market. And eventually I found my entry requirements. And what I did is eventually I found I was building on my strategy, tracking statistics more, building a plan, building entry requirements and all that stuff. And from the end of 2022, I started to see results because from day trading, this period, I was kind of like, didn't go too well, like break even, little bit of a loss, but I saw consistent profitability the moment we were actually going to the downside. Not because I was holding on, but that's from a day trading perspective, not because of having a like 2x short and riding it all the way. And yeah, especially from also, wait, I'm too early. Yeah, so especially this is where, you know, emotions hit, blah, blah, blah. I was learning, I started to see profitability, and, you know, it just improved as time passed to where we are today. Of course, I still have losses. I also have wins. Wins outperform the losses. But throughout also this period, I'm like, you know, consistent break even, little bit profitable, you know, making small wins, small losses. And eventually I improve the strategy, improve. And yeah. No. Takes time, takes effort, takes a lot of statistics, and yeah, that's the story in a nutshell. So basically from the all-time high, that's when I slowly started to become break even and eventually profitable. And that doesn't mean I never lose, because I do. But I have a lot of statistics about my strategy, which tell me exactly my win rate and everything. And I'm still improving my strategy. The latest tweak I made was early this month. So yeah, in a nutshell. So it took me about 2 years to be a about 2 years. But 2 years, not forget, it was during lockdown, during COVID. I'm a keynote speaker. So yes, I can live from the market, okay? But I work as a global keynote speaker. My background is I am from the gaming and the esports industry. I'm in that industry for 17 years. I used to be a professional gamer, you know, traveling the world as a gamer. I was a medical student, but I gave up my study because of my business that I have in the gaming and esports industry, because I'm an entrepreneur outside of YouTube in the gaming and esports industry. Yeah, I'm a global keynote speaker as well. So you know, I sometimes I have to speak at conferences around the world, and that's why I'm in Croatia, or I'm in Paris, or I'm in London, and I can't make videos. So and that's my passion, as well as the charts. I love the charts, so I make it work together. So can I live from the market? Yeah, but do I want to only trade the market? No, because my strategy, let me actually show you this. Do I have the statistics here? YouTube channel statistics. This is still from before the tweak. These are the statistics of all the setups that I track statistics. So I don't trade all of the setups that appear on the chart, because sometimes I'm not there. But even though I'm not able to trade because maybe I have to speak at an event, or maybe I'm with friends and I'm not trading, I still track statistics of the strategy at the end of every month. So this is done July. You can see I only have a total of 8 to 20 trades a month. So I have time to do other stuff at the same time next to trading, and that's why I can have my business. I can be a keynote speaker, and I love the gaming and esports industry. I grew up. It's basically my career. I'm in it for 17 years, and I'm 30. It's more than half my life. Okay, lots of chatting. Must be Dutch? Yes, I'm Dutch. Koenz, also in daily time frame, the CVD is even lower. Yeah, I don't use CVD on high time frames. It's much more trustworthy on the lower time frames, because even though you might have big bullish CVD divergences on the daily, if on the 15 or 5 minute you're seeing bearish CVD divergence with every little bounce, these get priority. So the lower time frames get priority over the higher time frame CVD. Show us your wave count from 15.5K. Well, this is the bearish one where you are going to go for a new low for 2 or B. Look, that's the thing. I like very clean charts, and I see, of course, there's many people counting different ways, but I see many people that are not using the object tree. They have hundreds of lines crossing, and they're talking, oh, this yellow box here, but then there's also a red, and there's a blue, and there's like a line here, and line here, and line there, and then there, and there, and then I'm like, what the hell, what am I looking at? I love clean charts. That's my style. Very, very structured. The moment a structure is finished, I don't know if you could hear the scooter, but the moment a structure is finished, and after we get some proof of it being finished, or the probability is high for it to be finished because we can't speak in certainties, I remove the sub-degree counts because they're not relevant anymore. I only keep the higher degree counts. So my lower time frame counts are always local, and the higher degree over here is always, is very clean. And then I have different folders. So if you ask me, for example, what's my count from 15K? Well, you can't see the sub-degrees anymore. But if I have to tell you, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's an impulse in a wave A or a wave 1, because a wave A or a wave 1 indicates that I'm looking for an impulse over here. Because I like very clean charts. And also for the viewers, which I think is important, for people watching my videos and content, it's much easier to follow what I'm talking about when I use the object tree effectively, and if I have not a lot of shit on my chart, so people can actually see clearly what I'm looking at. Love your videos, make me want to study more about Elliott Waves. That's what I want to hear. Studying Elliott Waves. Welcome, Earth National. Z Warrior, Aave, Uni, and Tesla at these supports. Can be interesting. Everything works. Everything works. It just has their own probabilities. Exactly. It is all about probabilities. Every strategy can work. Every strategy can work. But it's all about your personality. And actually, let me show you this. Talking about this. Koenz updates. Talking about working on the strategy. I'm currently working, I know it's hidden, on a document that says create your strategy. Open in browser so it's bigger. Where I have steps with comments that show you exactly how to build your personal trading strategy. Exactly the way I have done it myself and became profitable. Doesn't mean you have the same strategy because everyone's personality is different and la-di-la-di-la. You trade based on your, some people are just initially scalpers and some are swing traders. But this will help you to work on your strategy. How much was your biggest loss? Well, nowadays I have a good risk management. So actually, recently my losses are definitely not big. My biggest loss is, I think, that was the one at the beginning. 16 or 18K. So I had 12K profit when I made my random trade, but then immediately I lost 16 to 18K, and that's forever been my biggest loss. Nowadays I have very good risk management. At least that's what I think. I have a very clear stop loss level, yeah. Yo, Badabot, what's up? What's up? Yeah, Moon Boys. I like the stories. Have to eat. Have a good dinner. De opslag smakelijk. Basically, all of our stories got lucky, lost it. We just haven't had the market to shine yet. I mean, yeah, it's at least we have a bit of upside, but my strategy works up or down. Like that's the thing. I'm not emotionally attached to Bitcoin. I can't care if it goes to 100K or 10K. I'm a day trader, not a swing trader. Like, who cares? If it goes to 10K, I'm not a holder. I'm not a hodler, I suppose. I'm a trader. I do invest, but not actually in crypto. So, it's just like index funds. Yeah, but I'm day trading Bitcoin, and the only thing I need to know is what is happening locally. And if locally is 100K or locally is 10K, doesn't make a difference for me. But that is, of course, my style, I suppose. Such a beautiful story. I know, tears in the eyes, right? I play Trackmania professionally as a racing game. My fiance is also here. Hey, Ash. She's shy. You want to say hi?
Next time I definitely will, but I just had my eyebrows done and they're darker than usual. I think you're gonna get
come in, babe. Okay. she just did the eyebrows. So I used to be a professional in the game Trackmania. It's not the biggest esports game out there, that's for sure. And my biggest Let me show you this. So this 2013, so in 2013, I attended the World Championships, and also in 14, 15, and 16. My best result is 3rd at the World Championships, and I won $1,500. Man. Good times. It's not about the money, but it did brought me to where I am today. You know, I can't live from being a professional gamer. That was. Oh, I mean, I had salary, but for me, it was a side job next to my studies. It wasn't like, you know, it's not like you can pay your whole house. And that's also because of Trackmania. It's not the biggest game, but I will, you know, I didn't play for the money. I have a passion, enormous passion for racing. And if there's anyone here that owns a racing team, yeah, hit me up. Love racing. Trackmania is a racing game, by the way. Played that professionally for 11 years. And yeah, also sim racing, you know, doing a lot of sim racing. Actually, I went to the premiere of Gran Turismo in the Netherlands, where I had to interview on the red carpet, but there were many simulators, so I played some rounds and cool, good stuff. Astronom, thank you for your response. You're welcome. I tried to respond to everyone. It's going to be a problem if the channel is going to hit more subscribers. XRP, there's many requests, but it's difficult to keep up doing analysis, but also with the chart. My Bitcoin chart is unreadable for everyone, sometimes even for me. I have a great video on YouTube. Wow, I had to think. Which is about cleaning up your chart. Let me quickly have a look. Yeah, the same. We still got the same divergence there. So if we go to my channel. Oh, look there. Hey, this guy is live. Check this one out. Clickbait. You go to my channel. You go to videos and you search for, mate, are you kidding me? Paralysis. It's literally called analysis paralysis. There we go. If your chart is very, very messy, check out this video. I don't know if the sound might be absolutely rubbish. I don't know if I already had the mic back in the day, but this one, in this video, I talk about how I make my target boxes, because the target boxes for me clean up my chart. I didn't yet make a video about using the object tree, which can be interesting, but you know. Elliott Wave Techniques Simplified. Is this a good book to get started? I would, first of all, check the links in the description. That's not affiliate. It's just free info. And that's what I use to learn Elliott Waves. There's 2 links. A simple Elliott Wave and then a link. And there's detailed Elliott Wave and then a link. First, study these. And then, this is the Elliott Wave book that I have, which is the official one from Frost and Prechter. Right? That's the official Elliott Wave book. The first half is great. I mean, it's a great book, but yeah. I mean, there's no but. It's just it's a great book, and this is like, I suppose, if you want to buy your first Elliott Wave book, buy this one. In my opinion, I mean. And then from there you can go different ways, but I would recommend that one from an Elliott Wave point of view. But check the links in the description. Those are the websites I used to learn Elliott Waves. And then it's about just a lot of experience. That's, you know, that's what counts. And in the description, #sellout, I have an affiliate link for the book. Lol. Next, add to Elliott Waves. What other technical analysis tools do you use? Everything that I show in all of my videos. So, yeah. horizontals, like volume. Basically, I use volume outside of my Elliott waves. It's a lot of volume because all the tools I use are related to volume. How do you separate the object tree in separate sections? Well, actually, these lines over here are just horizontal lines. I sometimes get this question, and I love this question because if we go to Bitcoin going like below zero, over here, you see some lines. You see, the lines that you're talking about are just lines that, like, you know, these are just horizontals that I put at minus 20K. Yeah, it's just a horizontal line. That's how I divide it in sections. You know, keep things simple. Do you automate your trades? I take them manually. I'm a manual trader, dropping. When was the last time you got liquidated? I've never got liquidated. I never lost all my money in my account. Did a trade got liquidated? Oh wait, let's reframe this. I've never blown an account, but I have been liquidated with a position. But that depends on the way you trade, because I know people that don't use stop losses. They just put their position in such a way that their whole position in the trade is 1% of their portfolio, for example. So their liquidation level is their stop loss level. So I think the question shouldn't be necessarily when's the last time you've been liquidated, because some people get liquidated all the time, but that's because their strategy, it works in such a way that their liquidation level is their stop loss level. And they still lose only 1% of their whole portfolio because of how they manage their trade. But I have never blown an account. Can you make an Elliott Wave analysis on NASDAQ and SPX? I've actually done that in the YouTube Gold section, because then I have dedicated time. So the YouTube is in that section for the YouTube Gold members. But, you know, during the day, I don't have, because of my other stuff, I don't have time to do any less. Like doing Elliott Wave counts takes a lot of time on new charts. So every Monday in YouTube Gold, I have the coin coverage stream where we, you know, the members are voting for what they want to see, which can be a coin, can be stock, can be whatever. And then I do an Elliott Wave analysis, the whole, like, as long as it takes. Can take an hour, can take 2 hours sometimes. But during a live stream, it's difficult to, you know, do a count or go through a whole count if I've done it in the past, because the time frame is so big. Koenz is not a hodler, but a teacher. I am a teacher. That's true. Whoa, you can be proud of playing on stages. Thanks, Anil. Appreciate it. Yeah, I played on many stages as a Trackmania professional. You can find a lot of. Look, there's a reason why it's called Koenz trading. That's because my gaming name was Koenz. There you go. By the way, guys, I'm not active on this channel anymore, but if you want to see me get third at the World Championships, you can look at this video, because that is literally the video when I got third. So, and this was in 2013, playing against Bergie in Norway, and I played for Acer. That was my sponsor, and the World Championship was in Paris. So this channel over here, I also have other videos like bungee jumping, Rocket League, like amateur and Rocket, Call of Duty, love playing Call of Duty. So, and what did I just saw just now? Oh, interviews. Oh yeah, you will also see interviews and stuff. So yeah, good times, good times. It's indeed, yeah, Anil, it's about the passion, right? Racing games are the best. Oh, man, WRC racing, so difficult. Like rally. Do you agree with other analysts that think BTC market structure will change significantly in the next cycle if the spot ETFs? So Adi Baronkea, I guess, or Sea. It's a good question, but I am not in fundamentals at all. I'm a 100% purely technical trader. I don't even know what's going on in the world of Bitcoin. Like, I'm very lean. I'm a very lean trader. You know, I stick to my technicals. I have no clue. Also with the news that I share in videos, I don't even know. FOMC minutes, it's red. I only look at the color. Oh, it's a red color. Must be some volatility coming in. Retail sales, I have no idea what this is. I don't know what FOMC is doing. I don't even really know what it is in America, but it's important because it has a red flag, so it's volatile. I care about the volatility. So for me, it's difficult to give a question to will the market structure change, because I just take it as it comes. So yeah, difficult for me to answer your question, Adi Baron, but maybe it will. But we don't know. Like people that are talking about everything will change. How do they know? You know, we are not living in tomorrow. We are not living in next week. You know, we are not living in next year. No one knows what's going to happen. You know, and if you follow, like, that's the thing with, you know, some. I don't know, of course, who says it. But very often the moon boys here are saying, I'm selling, I have a 1 million short. You know? And then over here they're saying, I got a 5 million long. However, maybe things will change. We don't know. That's the thing. I take it day by day. I don't know. So actually this is in my mental preparation plan. So every morning I have a mental routine. And one of my slides has a quote that says blah 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 blah, and then I fully accept that I have no idea what the market is going to do, and I will not know if my position will be my biggest profit ever or will be a small loss, because I trade with risk management. I do not know what the chart is going to do, is basically what I'm saying in that, and it's from Trader Tom, by the way. Which is the author of the book Best Loser Wins. It's a good book, but a bit repetitive. And honestly, if you go to his videos on YouTube and you go here to Tom Hougaard, just check this series. Where is it? You don't need, like, you can buy the book if you want, but actually I read the whole book and then I watched this series, this one over here. It's public, Trading Psychology, Why Normal Doesn't Make Money. It's a 7-part series about like 1.5 to 2 hours. All the, like, basically all the content of the book you have to know is literally in the videos. He's basically presenting all the stuff in his book. So if you want to know what's in there, check this. But he says that one of his rules is, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. I just trade whatever comes. I trade the market as it comes, and you know, it might be my biggest day, it might be, I don't know. So it's very difficult for me to say will the markets change, because I don't really I don't really care actually. I trade today and tomorrow is a new day with new opportunities. Yeah. But what I do know is, you know, like the market is always evolving, and you know, maybe the strategy that you have 5 years ago might not work in today's time. Maybe it does, because you keep tweaking it, you keep building statistics. So yeah, it's I don't really look too far ahead. BNB, yeah, same question. All the coins, it's difficult to do full analysis on coins, but if you want me to do other stuff, just make sure to if you want, check YouTube Gold, and sometimes I do have time to go over like other pairs, but you know, we're also chatting here. The Everlasting Bliss. First time I found your channel, so the live clickbait worked. Welcome. Oh, for everyone that is here, by the way, and is like, yo, he's in his title, it says analysis. It's true. It's that's not clickbait. We've actually done Elliott Wave analysis and Bitcoin analysis at the beginning of the video. So if you just jumped in and you're new here, or you're looking for the analysis, make sure to check out the beginning of the video. Like after 5 to 10 minutes, that's when I go into price section and I do the analysis. And after that, I like to talk with you guys. You know, I like to talk with you. Libo, really appreciate your analysis. Thank you. It's 1 a.m. Going to sleep. I understand. Go to sleep, man. Vincent says object tree. That is true. I love using the object tree because it keeps my chart clean and organized. I love being organized. Nick K, welcome and good to see you. Nice avatar that you have as well. NFT maybe. So 20K is the target. Got it. Well, we don't know. We don't know because first of all, you know, I take it level by level. Now we are at the point of control. So we observe what price does here. Then we have this support area with the monthly over here. Then we have 26.2, 26.4. We observe here. And, you know, depending on the reactions and the probabilities that we see when price is reaching these levels, and of course, how price is approaching these levels, if it does, we can assess probabilities for either more downside or more upside, because we will never know what's going to happen. There's no certainties, there's only probabilities. LTC news, I don't know about news, purely technical. Maarten Eickholt, dankjewel, you're welcome. When will LTC reach 92? We don't know, because we don't know what will happen. We can only do probabilities, but I actually didn't do an Elliott Wave count on LTC. It hasn't been voted yet, or didn't yet got the most votes in the YouTube Gold membership streams for Monday, because every Monday we do the coin coverage where I analyze an empty chart to a full plan. How much weed do you smoke? I've smoked weed once because so my fiance is from South Africa, and you know, like she has an English dad, a South African mom, and she came to England first, then to the Netherlands. And she had some friends that visited her and they were like, we got to try weed. Up till that moment, I've never tried weed. We tried weed in Amsterdam, used to live there. I was not too impressed. It was a couple of years ago. I'm not a smoker. I don't smoke. I actually rarely ever drink. So I only drink Radler, which I guess is a Dutch thing. But yeah, I barely drink actually as well. I don't really enjoy beer because it's so bitter. But I mainly drink water. LTC, BSV, all this trash go to zero. We don't know. Yeah, possibly. Do you trade only futures, and with what leverage? Yeah. Well, I don't trade spot, so yeah, I only trade futures, and my leverage is, so this is important. This is important because my leverage is based on my position size and my risk. Let me show you this, and let me do a little example here. Let me open a new Excel sheet because I'm going to show you my. Oh no, wait. Yeah, I'm going to show you my trading journal, or like what I use, and I made this for the membership that is yet to come in September for the diamond. Where is it? Actually forgot. Is it? 1 second. It's coming on the screen, guys. Ah, there we go. Okay. So, okay, I have to clean it up a little bit, make it 10. But what you're looking at these are folded things. So let me open one. As an example, I always use it. We have 100K in our account. Yeah, we're traders. It doesn't matter. You can have 1K. Yeah, I don't care. But let's, for the example, use 100. Now, what you see over here, and it's apparently not the newest update of my, because I removed all of these weird things. So, but it doesn't matter for the example, because this will be shared in a membership that's yet to come. So people learn my strategy, they get all the stuff I use as well. Preparation, position. This is over here for your entry, and this is post plan. So here, preparation, you screenshot of your plan, long or short, you can select stuff. Over here, you can write the date. You can select if you're looking for a scalp, a day trade, swing, whatnot, all that good stuff. But let's say our entry, where's price at the moment? Well, 28K, right? 28K. And let's not use 28K. Let's do this instead, 28.6. I don't want to use price now. Okay, what's our stop loss in percentage? Now let's say we went short with a 0.73% stop loss, right? This is, by the way, this sheet is in Bitcoin. I also have one in dollar yet to go, and these black ones are removed in the one that's coming. But okay, this is not the recent one. My target doesn't really matter, but let's say my target is 3%. So we have a 1-to-4 risk to reward ratio, and write your rules here. You can select if the rule has been respected, yes or no. You can write down why am I taking this trade, mental prep. So you can immediately see it's calculating automatically. My account risk is, so personally, I always trade with a 1% risk, which means that if my stop loss is below 1%, I have 2x leverage. If my stop loss is at 0.30 for a very low time frame entry, I'm using 3x leverage, but I'm still risking 1%. It's about the risk more than about the leverage. Most of the time, my leverage is set to 5 because I want to have the flexibility because of my stop loss. But my risk is always 1%. And depending on my stop loss, my leverage is used. However, if I have a stop loss of 1.5%, then my position doesn't need leverage. I just used 1x. So I'm a trader that actually you could say does not use leverage, or I only use it if my stop loss is below 1% because I risk 1% of my portfolio at that moment in time. And if I have a stop loss that is lower than 1%, I need 2x leverage or maybe 3x leverage to enter my position, right? And as you can see, the position is automatically calculated as well. And if you then have an entry of 2.33, it also calculates the swaps, or like an estimation of, if you take it overnight, how much do you pay for holding it overnight if you're long, for example. So, like what session are you entering over here? What does the CVD says if you use it? Is it bullish, bearish? Is there nothing? Put a screenshot here. So I hope it shows you how I risk manage my stuff, I suppose. So you could say I use leverage, but I only use leverage because my stop loss might be smaller than 1%, and then I need to go to 2x. Competitive gaming, fuck to what? Yeah, man, it was a good time. I'm champ 2 in Rocket League. Nice. I'm also around that rank nowadays, at least. I haven't played for a while though. I used to play World of Warcraft. Top 23rd warrior. Shit. PUBG. Top 11 Europe. Nothing lasts forever. Those are some good results though. To my question from earlier regarding market structure. You had a remark yesterday that in gold charts we see a different. So I have not done an Elliott Wave count on gold or silver or any of the any commodities but no, what I said is probably any chart, any coin, any stock can have a WXY, XZ correction. In general, it's just that WXY, XZ corrections are very rare, and therefore they are never preferred when looking for scenarios locally. The general consensus is that spot Bitcoin will make 90% of all BTC volume, so I'm thinking that Elliott Waves will behave different. Possibly, but so far Elliott Waves is a strategy that's been there already for, 40, 50 years. In the end, all the waves can be counted, but sometimes the market is more complex than other times, so makes it more difficult, but the rules are still applied. There is a little bit of discussion about nowadays so if we have a WXY correction, right? You have a WXY correction. Is it allowed to have another WXY inside W? Because the official rules say, which are the ones that I tend to follow mostly, that in a wave W and in a wave Y, you only want simple structures, which means either a zigzag or a flat in W. X, any correction. Y can be a zigzag, can be a flat, or can be a triangle. But you can't have a W, X, Y in a wave W itself or in a wave Y. There's a little bit of a discussion, but also that is not preferred. So when you are counting the chart, try to look for other scenarios first before counting a WXY in a W or a Y, because officially it's not allowed. But yeah, markets change, and that's why, you know, there's sometimes a bit of discussion. The Everlasting Bliss, groeten daar. Kijk, Nederlander. Nice to see that actually. Big Koenz, I know you're training later tonight. Yeah, it's 8:30 already. But before you can go, can we see me pay respect to the power tower? Yeah, okay. This man. Pay respect to the power tower. Shall we do 10 today? Let me do this so you can actually see it. You can also see a medal hanging. Oh, by the way, before I go and hang on the power tower and do some pull-ups, this is my medal. When I'm trading, actually, when I'm entering a trade, I always wear this medal, and there's a big reason for it. Also, when I start to feel emotions or whatnot, I wear this medal. Not emotional as a person, but just trading emotions, right? Because this medal for me, I had to work very hard. You also see the shirt I'm wearing. The shirt I wear is from like Strong Viking. It's an obstacle run, and I don't know if you can probably not see it. Maybe on my back. I'm not sure if you can read it. So this year, on the 15th of June, I did an obstacle run of 42 kilometers and over 100 obstacles. I trained, so I love sports anyway, but I trained half a year to achieve this. It was the toughest, let me tell you, it was the toughest shit I have ever done. Toughest thing I have ever done from a physical as well as mental standpoint. Holy moly, what that was tough. So I got this shirt and I got this medal. And this medal is proof to me that if I stay disciplined, if I have patience, and if I prepare well, I can do it. Because, oh boy, did I have a crazy time during the 42-kilometer run. I also got pain on my knee. I had cramp in both of my calves at 20 Ks. I walked the last 7 to 9 kilometers. I had to finish in less than 7.5 hours because else I wouldn't get a medal. I finished in 6.5 hours, but I had to walk the last 7 to 9 Ks because my knee was absolutely fucked. So I couldn't run anymore. If I had to pee in the forest, because, you know, there's no toilet, you pee in the forest, I stood still for 1 minute, going back into trying to run, my knee killing me, man. Like, yeah, I definitely did, you know, my knee wasn't okay, but it just is proof to me that if I stick to my plan, if I prepare well, if I am consistent, if I keep training, if I am patient, I can do it. And it's a great reminder when I'm trading to keep track of my emotions. The moment I start to feel emotional things during trading, I'm like, I grab the medal, I put it around my neck, and I'm like, I keep control. Okay, let me do a few. Let me do 10. Okay, Mr. Red Loop, I paid my respects to the tower, the power tower tonight. It's called the power tower, by the way. If you want to have it in your house, Google on power tower. And so what I do is every time I go through my door in the office here, I do a couple of pull-ups, core exercises, or push-ups, but you don't really use it for push-ups, but nonetheless. Joe Luis, look all the spikes since 10th of November. Hard for me to count as impulses. 10th of November 2022. Let me have a look here. This is so far back in time. It's not really relevant for where price is at the moment. Of course, I'm breathing now because of the workout. Small workout. So, of course, you can go to the lower time frames, but the thing is, it doesn't really matter too much anymore what happened on this particular day. If there's many wicks, okay, this is a good lesson as well. So if Elliott waves are not clear on the lower time frames, what people tend to do, which is the danger, is you go to lower, even lower time frames. So if you're like, you know, I'm on the 1 hour, I have no, for example, let's use this, right? Let's use this. This throughout the videos, it wasn't always completely clear. What people tend to do if we're on the 1 hour is, okay, I have no idea what's going on. Let me go to the 15. And then they go to the 5 because they don't know what's happening on the 15. And then they go to the 3 and then they go to the 1. But instead, it is better to wait and go up a time frame. So instead of being on the 4, you go to the, on the 1 hour, you go to the 4 hour. And you are just patiently gonna wait. You know, price will show you. Price will show you what is gonna happen. It takes a little bit of time. But it's better to go up a time frame or to be patient than trying to lose yourself on the lower time frames. Because it might be, you know, a black hole. You eventually you're going to count to 1 minute. And I've been there as well. Like, oh, it's not clear. I go to the 15 and then 5. And then eventually I find myself on the 1 minute time frame. And I'm like, you know, what the hell is happening? But nowadays it also costs a lot of time. If I'm not too sure about what's happening, you sometimes see me do this in videos where if I don't really know what's happening on the micro, like the 15 minute, I do not show you the 15-minute analysis in my video. Instead, I only show you the 1 to 4 hour time frames and not the 15, because I want more clarity on the 15, but I do have scenarios for the 1 to 4 hour. And only when the 15 gives me more clarity will I share with you my 15-minute Elliott Wave count again. As long as the 15 is clear, I will provide you with the 15. Can you please give us a copy from this sheet? It will be available in September. Same analysts say that Bitcoin will be more predictive and possibly less volatile. Most people will feel, yeah. Supply shock. 75% of Bitcoin is owned by long-time holders. Yeah, there might be a lot that happens in the future of Bitcoin, but it won't change my trading. It will be fun to see what happens, but I don't follow the news, so I'm 100% clueless on news. And that I don't know, it might hurt the feelings of the fundamental traders. But fundamentals, and you will also read that in Market Wizards, and I have all the Market Wizard books here. Fundamental traders, as well as technical traders, everything can be very, very profitable. It's all about your strategy and what you enjoy doing. Do you enjoy technicals, fundamentals, a combination? But I don't enjoy fundamentals and news at all. I'm 100% technical, and Bitcoin for me is just another asset. I suppose, I trade it. I can trade it, and I don't mind even if it's less volatile, I'll still be able to trade it. So if it's 100K or 10K or 5K or 1K or 200K, doesn't really matter. Captain Gary, send me do you play on PC, by the way, Gary? Captain Gary, send me a DM on Discord. Do you play on PC? I play PC. I'm a PC gamer. Philip, excited for a live. Thanks for your work ethic and the content. Thanks, man. Thanks for being here. Welcome to the stream. A gold Elliott Wave analyst would be so cool. A gold? Oh, yeah, on the asset gold. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really use it. Johnny Bravo. First, congrats for your content. I watch many, but your content is short and on point. It helps with my time management. I love hearing that you enjoy watching the content, man. That's what I do it for. Sometimes I'm struggling with time. The moment, so most of my videos are around 10 minutes. I try to aim for 8 to 10 minutes. Actually, I should say probably most of my videos are between 10 and 15, which feels very long. But I try to keep them as short and condensed as possible, but I still want to provide you with all the information. So it's not always easy to keep things simple, condensed, concise in the time I have with you guys, because I don't want to take too much of your day. I just want to have, when you're having lunch, just a quick view or quick look. Oh, here's a video, and go continue with your day. But I do want you to have all of the info. Try to. So thanks. I appreciate your comment, Johnny Bravo. That's great. Did you had other jobs before being a trader? I still have. I mean, funny enough, I've never had after my studies, I've never had a job because okay, it's time for another story time. So, by the way, guys, just want to talk about this as well. Just like with the range that we had above here, right? Bearish market structure, bullish divergences have a lower probability of playing out and a higher probability of being leading. Of course, it can play out. There's always the probability that you take the high, but it's just good to know. Over here, we had bullish CVD divergences, but we also saw bearish CVD divergences, and bearish CVD divergences in a bearish trend have more probability of playing out, and the bullish one has a higher probability of being leading. But story time, my quick, it won't be a long one. I started working when I was 14 and I worked in a bakery. I mopped the floors and I packed the fucking sandwiches. That was my job. Just standing at the back of the bakery, putting sandwiches and bread in plastic. That's why I started. Then I worked in a restaurant, and this was, of course, besides my study. It's called, I guess, a side job in English. Like besides your study, and in the weekends you then work, earn some money. So when I was 14, I worked at a bakery, and then I worked in a restaurant. I worked at a fuel station. I worked in filling bags with cement. I don't know how that work is called, but I did that for the summer because it paid well. And then I earned money because I was a professional gamer. When eventually I got better, I got a contract with Acer in 2013, which is 10 years ago when I was 20. And then I got paid to play games. So I quit all my side jobs because playing games was then my side job. From that moment onwards, I've never had a job. Because I studied university, I was studying, I was a medical student at the University of first Nijmegen and then Amsterdam. In Amsterdam, I did my master's in the hospital, Amsterdam University Hospital. And because of my career in gaming and esports, which developed from being a gamer to getting into business, because I started to become a keynote speaker, I got interest from companies that wanted to work with me on a consulting basis. I was already presenting on television as a television host on Fox Sports. So I already had stuff going on, and I had difficulty to manage it with my studies. So I decided to have a sabbatical year in 2017 and 2018 and never looked back. So I took a sabbatical year just to try and prove myself because I already earned money from the gaming industry, because I worked with companies, I was a television host, and I was a speaker. But my studies prevented me to take the next step. So I was like, I only get this opportunity once. I have to make a choice. It took me months to make a choice, because it's very difficult. You're studying medicine, you're in your 4th year, you're doing your master's. Are you going to quit your medical study to become a doctor? To try the entrepreneurial route where you don't know what you're going to earn? I took the I took the choice. I made the choice, and here we are. Never looked back. Never returned to my studies, and I've never thought again about university. It's most difficult, best decision I ever made. I cannot recommend people to just stop, and that's why I like to highlight the only reason I could at least have a sabbatical year is because I already had income sources from my hobby, which now became my work later. So it was a well thought of decision. It's not like I don't have any shit coming in, I don't earn any money, I'm just going to quit and try to be a pro gamer. That's not what I don't support that. You need stuff before you make such a big decision. And I had a sabbatical year. After that 1 year, I was allowed to come back. That was the rule that I had, or the appointment I had with university is if I didn't make it, if I couldn't earn enough money, I could go back to university and I could start where I then finished after 1 year. But in that 1 year, I managed to earn a living. And here we are. So yes, I did have other jobs, but never after university. I seen Ironman people that pee without stopping. Oh, that's not me, mate. I'm not I just look for a nice tree somewhere. You know what I mean? You guys talking about the pull-ups. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah. The Red Loop, he loves sports. He's like the sports guy. Red Loop. I did the pull-ups for you, man. Wait, 11th November 2023? We're not yet in November, of course. Joe Luis. So which day in November do you mean, Joe Luis? Because you mentioned the 11th of November in 2022, but we are not yet in November in 2023. So let me know. You got a good blood pump now, and that medal is like a statistic. Yeah. So I always have my medal. I always have it on my desk or around my neck. It's actually funny. It's not planned, but I've been wearing this shirt the whole day, which, is my shirt from the competition. What's your win rate about? Well, you can actually see it in the Excel sheet. So this is the moment I tweak this is important because I have a lot more data before November 22. But the moment I tweak my strategy, you need to start with a new statistic sheet because these statistics are based on a certain set of rules and entry requirements and stuff. But if you tweak and upgrade your strategy or try to upgrade your strategy, you can't use the same statistics anymore because it changed. So every time I tweak my strategy, I have a new Excel file with new statistics. And this one is from November 22. That's when I tweaked it till today. But in August, at the beginning of this month, I tweaked my strategy. So I already have a new one. But win rate about 60 to 70% most of the time. I don't take all of these trades because, but I do track all of the trades that fit my plan and strategy. But I don't trade all of them because, and these are all during the day between 6 and 10. But I don't trade all of them because, sometimes I'm speaking as a keynote speaker, or I'm with friends or family, and then maybe there was a setup, but I didn't or couldn't trade it. But for my statistics, it's still important to put it in my statistics so I keep up to date with how my strategy is developing. Of course, I do trade them whenever I can, but it's always good to just, keep track of your statistics. So there you go. Always keep track of your statistics. Don't hate it. Don't date it. Just trade it. Exactly. Is this your second live? I don't know. I've been live on this channel a couple of times, but today it is the second time because I first went live on Discord before I went live here. Yeah. Packed sandwiches, Kenny. That's how we do. That's where I start. That's where I studied, man. Or I started. Not studied. How old are you? I'm 30 years old. In September, the 24th of September, I will enter the 31, which is Sunday, the 24th. Let's see. Maybe I can do a live stream on Sunday. That would be fun. A birthday live stream. Kenny, I googled you, Koen. Damn, you are famous. I'm not famous. I mean, not as famous as I guess celebrities are, but in my space in esports gaming, as a speaker, I am known. I'm not famous, but I am known in what I do, I suppose. Yes, I spoke at TEDx in Germany. That was the biggest audience I ever had. It was 900 people, and I mean, my most recent big gig was in Croatia, which was for 500 people. Yeah, that was a few months ago. So I think, yeah, I always put on Instagram if I have to speak. So I have an Instagram. I don't know, you can probably find it. Yeah, it's in the description. Whenever I go and have a speaking gig and I can't make videos, I can't make content, then I have my phone and I show you guys on Instagram on the stories what I'm doing. So you can see what's up, where I am, where I have to speak, the audience, like, or other stuff. Also when I go to the gym, and you get to know me a little bit better with what I do outside of trading. How many years of experience in trading? I started in January 2021. So that is 2 years and, well, basically 8 months. But you have to realize that during COVID and the lockdowns, I literally, I was behind the charts all day learning, because as a speaker, of course, COVID, all the events were canceled. So, I didn't really have a lot to do. I did have to speak through, like, I did have to give webinars sometimes, but then I didn't have to travel. So it saves a lot of time. So I invested more than full-time working weeks in learning trading, Elliott Waves, building my strategy, building statistics. So if you don't have the same time, it will take longer. But if you do have the time, I was 2 years. I'm now 2 years and 8 months in this journey. I also had a 8-year job, my second job, as a no way, for Ubisoft. I know Ubisoft very well because the game Trackmania is published by Ubisoft. I currently work for Microsoft as tech support. That's nice, man. Yo, you worked for Ubisoft, now for Microsoft. That's incredible. Yeah, Ubisoft, great company. Trackmania, the game I played professionally, is published by Ubisoft. What is the R? What is the R time? I don't know what you mean with what is the R time. Over here, it's just the times of entry. Like what times my strategy works best. So for, like, imagine I get a kid, right, in the future, and like, you have a little baby. This will really help. If I'm behind my PC the whole day, it's okay. But I still know that, the biggest win rates are at these times based on the strategy I have. I better not trade between 9 and 10. So very often between 9 and 10, I'm doing other stuff. But when you have a kid, for example, or whatever, I know that, okay, right, if I trade from 1 to 5 p.m., I have the higher probability session. Like, so I could be like, okay, in the afternoon, I'm going to be behind the charts all the time, but in the morning, I spend time with my kid, and in the evening as well. But then this will be my, So yeah, it's just tracking the time of your entries and when it works best can really help with trading. I FOMO, got a core, hold a position, then add and release coins. The big ones go when least amount of people are in. Yeah, it's like the typical quote of when people are scared. Oh, by the way, no financial advice. But if people are scared, you buy. And if everyone talks about, Bitcoin or whatnot, you sell, right? It's like always the other way around. Why don't you analyze altcoins? I actually do analyze altcoins, but I have a dedicated schedule for that, because during the day, as I do other stuff and I have a busy life, I don't have the time to just analyze altcoins or during a live stream, because I like to talk with you guys. So it's not easy to analyze a whole chart because Elliott Waves takes a lot of time. On the channel, I like to focus on Bitcoin because I only trade Bitcoin. However, because I got a lot of questions about altcoins, I then got the membership levels, and so the gold membership takes most of my time, which is the reason it's gold. And on Monday, every Monday, I analyze a altcoin chart. for the gold members, whatever they vote. If they vote for this or that, then I analyze that chart for the night. And then during that whole night, for like 1 or 2 hours, I analyze an empty chart to an Elliott Wave plan on the higher time frames. I can't go to the 15-minute. So yeah, we covered quite a lot. So far. So these ones at the moment, it's not bad. But of course, then it's, you know, I reserve that time in my agenda for doing a full count, like to do a full count, because it takes a lot of time. So I make sure I have time in my agenda for the members to hang out and analyze those charts, because it takes a lot of time. Elliott Waves takes a lot of time. However, same as everything, I suppose, that if you keep track of Elliott Waves on a daily basis, it doesn't take a lot of time, because, like, look, whatever happens locally here, I already know all of the scenarios in my head. I know what the bullish scenario is if price is going to pump. I know what's, you know, because I'm involved with the chart on a daily basis, and I update my stuff 3 times a day because of the videos. I have all these scenarios in my head, and whenever things change, I'm very quick to adjusting the chart. But if you start with an empty chart, or you barely ever look at a chart and then you go back, it takes a lot of time, because you have to go through all the different time frames. Mustafa, Nederlands. Hey man, altijd goed om je video's te bekijken. Heel leerzaam, zo ga zo door. Thanks Mustafa, I appreciate it. Gotta love some Dutchies in here as well. Good to see them. Dutch myself, of course, but yeah, Mustafa, thanks for the kind words, man. Red Loop, best Bitcoin. Oh yeah, by the way, for the new people here, go to the beginning of the stream to check my analysis about 5 minutes in or 10 minutes in. So you can check my analysis. Now we're just chatting. Best Bitcoin TA in YouTube. Much love, Big Koen. Gotta head out. Yo, big Red Loop. See you at the next one, man. The pull-ups were for you. Swing trading versus daily trading. I'm a daily trader based on what you've explored so far. I'm a day trader, not a swing trader. So I would choose day trading. Are you bullish now? No, because we're in heavy bearish market structure and we are moving to the downside on increased volume, which looks very wave 3-ish. So we can't really be bullish until, price moves to the upside and some of the resistances are going to flip into support. But as it stands now, it looks to be a wave 3 to the downside that is not yet finished, as price is moving down in a parabolic structure, but volume is moving up. That's what I always say in the videos as well, right? What we're looking for in impulses, strong impulses, you want to see a parabolic move and volume moving to the upside. So that doesn't look too great for the bulls at the moment. Wave 9, it's over. Bitcoin to zero, man. How do you manage time and keep a healthy work-life balance? Well, first of all, I have a fiance that is very entrepreneurial herself, so she understands. Sometimes I might have a meeting at night. Now I'm streaming. But she's very entrepreneurial. She does her own stuff. She's trying to build a business. She's in the beginning phase. So she understands. And that's most important. I've had in the past, I'm already together with her now close to 6 years. I already know her over 6 years now. It's important to find someone that matches your lifestyle, right? And in the past, when I was a lot younger, but I was already on the edge. I did a lot of different stuff. I had my university, pro gamer, keynote speaker, television back in the day. Yeah, not everyone can handle that. But it's my choice to do this. But nowadays, trading takes a lot of my time, or YouTube. Speaking is, the good thing about being a keynote speaker is that it takes very little time, but you get it's a high paid job, I suppose, if you call it a job. So I can speak for half an hour or an hour, but you make a lot of money for doing that. So time versus money is very good. So I actually don't like in November, November is always my busiest month. And in November, I have, currently 10 different speaking gigs or something in 1 month. It's crazy. And throughout the year, there's other moments where it's busy or calmer. Now it's holiday season, so it's calmer. I know exactly what's happening. But because speaking, it doesn't take too much time. It does pay nicely, so that saves time. With my company, where I educate parents with gaming children, that's a company I have as well. We actually, that is a marketing-based company. So we have a marketing partner, and we have to provide them with content. We sell courses, and I do speaking, which is, speaking is one of the things we offer, as well as courses and programs, but those can be followed online. Of course, sometimes I give workshops and stuff, which then falls under speaking. But because the company is marketing heavy and the courses are online, just pump up the marketing, and you have to make content for the marketing. But not like once you make a course, it can easily be online for a couple of years before you have to improve the course again or change it. We are actually currently working on the 2.0 version of the business. So currently things are slow, and we're aiming to launch it later this year. And then sometimes I will have a day or 2 days where I can't make a 1 p.m. afternoon update because I have to record content for the other business, for the courses. So yeah, I've always managed my time also with my studies and then television and stuff. I've always managed it well and tried to do so to combine the different things I love. However, every December I reflect. I think reflection is very important. I reflect on what I am doing and what I want to do next year. And let me show, it's actually here on my laptop. Let me show you, because every year in December, I reflect on my past year. I reflect on everything that I'm doing at that moment in time, and I make my goals for the next year. Now you see 3 pages here. I can't. These are my personal goals, so I can't show you everything. But it's a 1 year, like my goals in 1 year, my goals in 5 years, and my goals in 10 years. And every December, I make new goals for the 1 year and potentially improve the goals for 5 to 10 years, depending on what I've written down. And that does mean that it helps with focus. So one of the things I've learned is either you take control of your life or life will take control over you. There will be many opportunities that you will get as a person throughout your life. The question is, does it fit your goal or not? Most people don't have a 10-year goal, or multiple goals, in different areas, or 5-year, or maybe even they don't even know what they're going to do next year. They get an opportunity. They're like, oh, my pay is higher. I'm going to take this job because I get a higher salary. 5 years down the line, they're like, fuck. Or 10 years, they're like, my payment is good, but it takes so much time, or it's not what I, wanted. Some people may think they wasted years of their life. I try to live consciously with, okay, I have goals. If I get an opportunity, but it does not match my goals, I'm not taking it. So as an example, I was in the Netherlands at the beginning of this year. I was asked to be the president of the Dutch esports. How can I, what's the last word? It's not really foundation. Well, let's just call it foundation, the Dutch Esports Foundation. I was asked to be the president of the Dutch Esports Foundation. I said no. Is it a great position? Yeah, it's a great position. Can I have impact? Absolutely. Does it match my goals? No. So I said no. I know where I want to go, and you only have so much time. And even though the president job was 1 day at the beginning, it was going to be 1 day a week on Friday, and then as things evolve, it can take less time. But I don't have the 1 day to be a president of the foundation it's not part of my focus. It's not part of my future plan. It's not where I want to go. That job, even though it's nice, I can have impact. It does not fit to where I see myself in 10 years. So I said no. And because I can say no to that, because it doesn't fit my plan, I take control of my life, but that means I have more time to work on stuff that fits my plan, which gets me closer to my goals in the years to come. And let me show you something as well. So I just showed you I have a 10-year plan, which is translated in a 5-year plan, which then is translated in a 1-year plan, which then is translated in my weekly like program. You can see, right? Red is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where my 1-year goals are here at the bottom, there. And then I have monthly goals, weekly goals, and those weekly goals are then set in the days. So yeah, structure, like I know that what I do every day will at least move me in the direction of my goals in 10 years. Maybe I'm going to reach my goals in 10 years, maybe earlier, maybe later, maybe never. But at least I know that on a daily basis, I am working on the goals that I set out to myself for 10 years, 5 years, or for next years. I want to believe I have control, and I take the opportunities that come to me if they fit my goals. Because then again, I think it's such a strong quote. I don't know where I saw it, probably in Instagram Live or another live like a Reel or YouTube Short, but either you take control of your life or life takes control over you, because you're like, oh, nice opportunity, let me take it, higher pay. But maybe it doesn't really fit with where you want to go. But if you've never thought about where you want to go and what your goals are and what you want to achieve, then what do you know? What opportunity is the right one to take and which one is not? You know what I mean? It might be a better payment, but is that what you want? Or in 10 years, you know, like, yeah, this is how I run my life, basically. Right. Nice little motivational part here. What game did you play on a professional? Trackmania, which is a racing game. And I played Trackmania from when, so I started when I was 14 years old in 2006. In 2007 I was 15, I became a professional. My parents had to sign the paper because I was underage. And then I was a pro till 2018. Have you tried max leverage BTC trading? No. Well, I don't really use leverage depending on my risk. I actually went over it earlier this stream. But, oh wait, it's not this. Oh wait, shit, lol. You guys are all the time looking at my face instead of the charts. I'm so sorry. I don't know when I pressed that button. By the way, for the new viewers, if you're here for the Bitcoin analysis, go to the beginning of the stream at like 5 to 10 minutes. I've done the analysis. But, I for a second didn't realize you guys were looking at my face here. But, so I played Trackmania. So I don't actually use leverage, only depending on my stop loss for a trade. So I always risk 1%. If my stop loss of a position, so imagine we went short here, if my stop loss is below 1%, it means I can use 2x leverage. If my stop loss is lower than 50%, I can use 3x leverage because my risk is still the same. I'm risking 1%. So I've never done max crazy leverage 100, well, in the beginning, early days, but nowadays I should say, I have good risk. I learned my lessons, So, but also if my stop loss is 1% or higher, I use 1x. I'm a 1x trader. I'm completely happy. I also think leverage is very often used when your portfolio is small in size. So when you trade with $100 or maybe 1,000, I mean, it depends on your country and your financial status, what is a lot and what is not a lot. But usually if you have $10 or $100, in general terms, it's not too much. And people tend to leverage because they want to reach 10K in their account by tomorrow. So they're like, oh, let me use like 25 or 50 leverage because, there's, and then they think it's going to be a banger to make 100 into 10K in like 1 week. Those are not the things I support. It can happen. Can you make 10K into $1 million in a month time? Yes, but with very irresponsible trading and very irresponsible trading habits. I risk 1%. And also, once your account size is growing, you can't keep up with that very risky trading style. Once you have a big account, you gotta, risk management is the most important thing. You gotta care about your losses, not about your wins. It's about how much you lose. Every trade you enter, you should think, how much do I lose if this trade goes against me? Not how much I win. What's your loss? My loss is always 1% based on my portfolio size, and my leverage is simply based on where's my stop loss, because I have very clear stop loss rules in my personal strategy. And then, sometimes I may need 2x or 3x and sometimes 1x. Dude, Papa Life. Discipline, that's the key. Stick to the plan, don't procrastinate. Do what has to be done regardless of how you feel. In life, you'll face two pains, pain of discipline or pain of regret. Yep. I do not want the pain of regret. There's, pain of regret. There's a book, and I don't know the title. Maybe it's in my phone because I have a lot of book titles. But there's a book on the market where a guy interviewed, I think, 10 people that were dying. And he asked them about what they regret the most in their lives and what they valued the most in their lives. I haven't read it yet. But basically all the answers were, regretting not making a choice. Regretting listening to other people instead of yourself. Regretting not spending more time with your family and friends, but instead you're working all the time. Missing the diploma celebrations of your kid at high school because you did X, Y, Z. Those, it's very inspirational, based on what I've heard, but I still have to read it. But even today, of course, sometimes you're like, oh, shall I do this? Shall I not do this? And there's always a lot of thinking. There's always going to be maybe some regrets, maybe not, but you are the only one that can minimize the amount of regrets by having a plan and sticking to your guns. Maybe you have to say no to an amazing opportunity because it simply doesn't fit to where you want to be in 10 years time. Just have the balls to say no. I said no to my studies. I said no to being a president and it's not always that easy for people. Of course, it depends on your situation and your environment and lots of stuff, but take control. You're a genius, sir. When did you start the goal journaling? Ooh. I think 3 years ago. That's when I started. Yeah. I think 2020, just before COVID hit. And actually, I was inspired by a video. Of course, I don't remember, but I got inspired by a video, and yeah, that's when I started doing it. And it takes some time because I made it all myself, the different plan and stuff. But yeah, focus, stop distractions, stop vices, stop excuses. Just do what has to be done and what must do. That's how you hit goals. A little step every day are very big steps in many years, but you need to learn how to crawl before you can walk. What was the hardest thing you had to learn as part of your career development plan? And are you a passionate man wow, deep question. The hardest thing I had to learn as part of my career, saying no. That's quite easy, actually. I think that saying no. Oh, two things. Dare to ask questions to people and saying no. Now, asking questions, you might think, wait, why is that so important? Well, if you need something from someone, for example, I have a business and I need an investor, or I worked in a hospital, right, as a medical student. I'm in the surgery room I'm attending a open heart surgery. I've seen many. Now the surgeon might do something wrong. Are you going to correct him or not? It's difficult because the hierarchy. I'm a young entrepreneur talking to an investor. I need money. But you first go to family, friends, and fools to try and get investments from them. Do you ask your family for money? Do you ask your friends? But second, I think most important is, so first of all, if you don't ask, you will never get a yes. You'll always have a no. Only if you ask something, you might get a yes. But you'll never know if you get a yes. You might have an assumption of not getting a yes, like getting a no, but how do you know you'll be rejected or you get a no if you don't even ask, right? So I think that's one big lesson is always ask the question and don't make assumptions about people or for people because you don't know. You'll only know if you ask, right? In the Netherlands, we have a quote that says, nee heb je, ja kun je krijgen, which means you already got no, but you can get yes. And the second thing is that you have to learn to say no, which is kind of what I just spoke about with if you get opportunities, the clearer you can think of your goals, the easier it becomes to say no. Now I know who the guy was with the goals. It's MJ DeMarco. I just remembered. Wait, let me show you this. Fastlane forum. Wait. I got it here. Yeah, this one. There we go. Wow, it just hit me. He's a great author. He is the author of The Millionaire Fastlane and Unscripted. I got the books here. I got the books. I don't have to show you. Fastlane Forum is an entrepreneurial forum. I'm not necessarily too active, but I do sometimes check out their stuff. It's great. MJ DeMarco is the author. It's free. People can hang out. And here, this video talks about the 1, 5, he calls it planacy. I just call it, the goals. 1, 5, and 10-year goals. Check this out. Let me post it in YouTube. In case you want. Work on it. Just look at these videos. And I literally used this. This is how I got to a 10-year, 5-year, 1-year plan. And eventually I made my own monthly, weekly, and my agenda basically. But this is where I got it from. Wow, it just hit me when we were talking about it. So yeah, there you go. So you can check that. Are you passionate or disciplined? Am I more passionate than disciplined, or? This is difficult because in order to earn money in business, you don't need to be passionate. You will get passionate the moment you start to earn. This is from Mark Cuban. He says it's bullshit. Follow your passion. He says bullshit. Of course, I believe you have to do something you enjoy doing, else it's very difficult to continue doing it every day and find the motivation to do something. So I suppose I am more passionate, but then on top of that, I've always been very disciplined because of always having a lot of stuff going on. And if you study medicine and you're speaking on television and you're a speaker and companies want to work with you, how do you combine it? And then you have a girlfriend and friends. So I've always been very disciplined, which reflects in my charts. And the way I organize my object tree and the way I organize my scenarios, I suppose it shows the structure that I have, which is translated in the charts. So I guess, Mark Cuban has a point in that once you start to earn money, you might become passionate because, but honestly, if you want to start a business and you want success, I think it is great if you enjoy what you're doing so that every day you wake up and you just bang. The moment I wake up, the first thing I do, besides going to the toilet and drinking some water, is I go up, I open my laptop and I look at the charts in the Discord group and I check what happened. And from 6:15 in the morning till, look at the time now, 9 p.m., I'm working. But I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm during the day, I'm doing stuff for my other businesses. I'm doing YouTube. I'm active in Discord. Mate, I'm not working a single minute because I'm passionate about what I do. I love Elliott Waves. I love talking with you guys. I wouldn't be online for 2 hours and 16 minutes now. but of course it's not as easy. Like if you have a job, you first have to try and build a business or build something outside your job. So that will take discipline, but also if you're passionate, it helps. So then before going to, that's what my fiance is. She's working, she has a job, but she's trying to build a business. So what does she do? She wakes up early in the morning, she works on a business, then she works on a 9 to 5, then in the evening, guess what? She tries to work on a business. She is reading books that, to up her knowledge. In the weekends, what does she do? What do I do in the weekend? We work, but we also relax. We see family, we see friends, but we are not binge watching Netflix and all that stuff. We put time in, but that's us. That not like, I can only speak for myself. That's what we enjoy, working on our businesses and stuff. That's what we love doing. But I don't necessarily have I have entrepreneurial friends, but they don't have their business yet. They are trying at the moment, which is great to see. And I don't know. It all depends on where do you put your time. What do you really want? You don't use much leverage. It means your capital is large. How much you dollars trade average? I don't really like to talk necessarily about my portfolio size, but yes, I do trade with a proper sized account, and I don't need leverage. What do you think of Wave 5 finish now? That's unlikely, probability-wise, because we made another low on higher volume. And for a Wave 5, what you actually want to see is you want a new low on lower volume. But because price made a lower low on higher volume, the probabilities are at the moment higher. We are still in a Wave 3 to the downside. We don't yet saw a 4 and still have a 5. I also believe we didn't see a Wave 4 yet in the bearish scenario, right? This is the bearish scenario we're talking about. And a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Main reason being this Wave 2 was very, very short in time. And therefore you expect a long Wave 4. And none of these ranges so far have been Wave 4 worthy in time. You expect a much longer Wave 4. Rule of alternation in Elliott Waves. So I don't really think Wave 5 is finished yet. Probabilities are at the moment lower. If we talk about an impulse, right? It's lower. If we talk about double or triple zigzags, a move can end on high volume, which we actually saw over here. This was a double zigzag. And you can see volume over here was quite high to the downside. So from here, you can see the highest volume came in at the end. All right. Oh, well, I'm on the 4 hour, and as you can see, actually, volume also went down here. So it's not completely true, but it was high volume, but still you had some 4 hour candles making new lows, but lowering volume. That's what you want to see. Right? You want to see the volume dry up, make new lows, but on lower volume. And that's when we can start thinking about Wave 5 or... But at the moment, volume, look how high volume is. We're moving down like this, and volume is doing this. But of course, it all depends on the local reaction that we get. So I'm a reactive trader. So I observe what happens locally, and depending on what we see, I might act or not. But I need more price. This is not enough price action yet. But based on probabilities, you would expect more downside to come because this low has been made on higher volume from an Elliott Wave perspective. The everlasting... now people get inspired by your videos. I don't know if people really want to put effort in watching a 2.5 hour live stream. But if they do, I hope they will be inspired. And maybe one day in a couple of years, someone approaches me and is like, yo, I watched that stream the other day when you were a very small creator, 3,500 subscribers. I was there. And you changed something in me. How amazing would that be? That could be amazing. But hey, that's not something I focus on. I just try to give my 2 cents, I suppose. Thanks a lot for your job in analysis. Amazing watching you every day. Thanks. That's a difficult name. Sepren Nepoxopop, I guess. Thanks for being here and the kind words. I do my best. Christian, I can tell you what I lost, and because of the fucking Moon Boys. I've been there. I've been there. From your experience, sorry that you lost, by the way, Christian. It's never fun to lose, of course, but hopefully it teaches a lesson, right? Also, by the way, guys, the weekend is coming up, now that I think of it. So as the weekend is coming up, maybe we're going to start a wave 4 at the weekend. Wave 4 is usually like a ranging moment. So in the bearish scenario, it could be interesting to have a wave 4 in the weekend. The bullish scenario is a little bit difficult at the moment. There's only, let me quickly check if this is still, if this still applies for a potential ABC here. I saw KG in the group had this on his chart. Even for an expanding flat, we already went below the rare target. An expanding flat being a potential ABC, and then a 335, but 1.618 is a rare target. This is the common target, so it doesn't look too good. I have to look at the charts tomorrow morning and see if I can find a bullish scenario here. This was quite interesting, but you know, we went below the area here. We're in the middle of nowhere now. Well, actually not. We're on the 1.618. Where is it? We're on the 1.618 and we're ranging around the volume profile point of control here. So, from your experience, does a wave from your experience, does... Yo, Pistachio, by the way. Welcome, man. That's Will88 in Discord. He's a great guy. Pistachio improved a lot in his Elliott Wave counting, which you will see in the Discord group as well. From your experience, does a wave Y in a zigzag tend to have... Well, first of all, in a single zigzag, it's called an ABC, not a WXY, because a WXY is a 3-3-3 pattern. A zigzag is a 5-3-5 pattern. But let's say it's a wave C. Or maybe if you talk about a double or triple zigzag, a double zigzag is a WXY because it's a 3-3-3. And there you have a potential X and Z in the triple zigzag. So maybe you mean that. Does a wave Y in a zigzag tend to have a shallower retracement than a wave C? Oh, wait. I think I know what you mean. Just in general terms, right? If we think about a WXY, let me put this on the chart. So imagine this is a W, then we have X and we have a Y, right? And we have an ABC. Important difference here is, and it feels like I'm playing Counter-Strike, just trying to put this stuff on my chart as quick as possible. Oops, okay, there we go. Clicking at the pivot points. Okay, so a WXY, because the targets are different, right? WXY 3, 3, 3. ABC zigzag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. Wave B, by the way, and wave X can be any correction. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 3. This one is I like it. A little bit of education here. This is 5, 3, 5. There you go. Targets, are they different? Yes. Let me actually remove the clutter here. Okay, because I put it down. Targets for an ABC. You take the trend-based sub-extension from the high of A to the low of A to the high of B. Most common target is between the 1 and the 1.236. This is your area, most commonly for a wave C. Right? This is what you would be looking for. The 0.618, this is important. The 0.618 is a very rare target. The 1.618 is a very rare target. Let's go to a WXY. take a trend-based fib from the high of W to the low of W to the high of X. Now look at what changes. The fibs are the same, but the colors are different. I color code everything. Most common target for a wave Y is between the 1 and the 1.236. However, the 0.618 to the 1.236 is common. Most common is this, but the 0.618 is still common. It's just a little bit less common, I suppose. So I could say this whole area now is common. In a zigzag, the 0.618 is very rare, and in a wave Y, the 0.618 is common. It's just that this is a little bit more common, and the 1.618 is rare, not very rare. Even though in a zigzag nowadays, I guess like you could almost call the 1.618 also rare, because you know how often have we seen the 1.618 recently? Also, in a zigzag, ABC, wave C always has to end below wave A. In a WXY, wave Y does not necessarily have to end below W depending on what Y gives you. The highest probability is wave Y ending below W. That is correct. So there you go, a little bit of education. Thank you opening yourself to us. I feel that we earn more value from getting to know a bit about the man who loves the waves. Yeah, I mean, I love getting to know you guys too. Of course, on Instagram, you get to know me even better. Well, in some way you do, because, you know, I post stories and stuff about what I do outside of trading. But I like to get to know my community. I remember where people are from. I remember like members that I talk to in Discord. I know some people coming from Canada, like moving to Portugal soon. Kenny, you know, John working in Australia. He was a trader full time. Now recently got a job and he has to travel by plane to his job so he can trade a little bit less. I know that KG is currently traveling the world. He's traveling around but still sharing. So I love to remember things about the community, and there's more people. Like I try to remember stuff. So yeah, you get to know me a little bit. I get to know you a little bit. Papa Live, and of course Papa Live is always in the comments. Papa Live probably has the craziest comments. And Flotty as well. Flotty always has the bang emote, but Papa Live always got the crazy shit going on. I gotta go, my man. Have a good night, and thanks for the live and your sharings and experiences. Thanks for the time. See you soon. Thanks, man. Thanks, Papa, that you were here. Great to see your support. 4 hour is forming a we're actually on the 4 doji candle. It means it's going to be bullish soon. Maybe not, because we also had a doji here. No, look what happened. However, maybe if you have different additional confluences that could increase the probabilities for your trading strategy to go long, there's no reason not to take the long. If it fits your strategy and plan, there is if you have a strategy and all the entry requirements are hit, well, take the long. You know your win rate based on your statistics, or you should know. So if it fits your strategy, there's a mosquito here. Oh shit, that's a window. It's open still. That's what happens when you go live when it's still daytime, and you're still live when it's night, and you leave the window open. I'll vacuum clean them later. Anyway, yeah. So if you have a solid strategy, entry requirements, whenever everything is hit, you can long or short. So, but yeah, it's always good to have some additional confluences, I suppose. And a doji can be one of these confluences. Do you only? Yes, I only trade Bitcoin. Funny enough, my first trade ever was on Ethereum, but I only trade Bitcoin. Nowadays, in the past, actually, I also traded other stuff, but it's a time thing. Elliott Waves is time consuming, and I just want to focus on one thing. Bitcoin alone gives enough profits. In my opinion, wave 4 is going to form here because we're due to a bounce. Yeah, potentially a wave 4 here can be nice. We are just hanging around. 1 second here. Yeah. Imagine catching, I can't see it. Imagine catching a mosquito live on stream. That would be funny. Yeah, the weekend would be interesting for sideways price action. We are now below the point of control, so that now, this is important, right? But still, you really want to see more like higher prices to switch back to bullish. Doesn't look too good, but a range would be nice. A bit of a ranging price action. I would like to have a range. Maybe here, you know, we have the monthly, so a bit of support, and then this one even better. Hey, I forgot to save it. Make this yellow. Up. I'm learning Russian. Russian. I think it's a difficult language. One of my fiance's friends is Russian. Very impressive. I don't understand anything. Can you please analyze Bitcoin where to long? I don't know where to long. I also don't know where to short. The only thing I know is that I follow my plan and entry requirements. And if all the boxes are checked, I long or I short. Because I have a developed strategy based on statistics, which I suggest you do the same. No one can tell you to long or short. It's best to develop your own strategy. So you find the tools that you enjoy using, build statistics, combine different tools, build more statistics, and the combination of different tools, that's when you start to build your strategy. It takes time, takes effort, takes discipline, takes determination. But if you want to make it in this game, the best way forward is to develop a strategy for yourself with a win rate that you know. Do you think, this takes a lot of time, and this is only one Excel sheet. I have Excel sheets of before November 2022. These are statistics about my strategy till the beginning of August, because I tweaked it again. And every time I tweak my strategy or try to improve it, I need a new document, because I can't use this one anymore because I tweaked my stuff. So I need to start again. So from November to July, I had the same strategy, but look at the data. Cost time, but you want to be profitable, you got to put in the extra mile, right? And I think statistics can really help your trading, but you have to start with building a strategy first, and then build statistics and improve. If you want to see my analysis, however, JSO, then go to the beginning of the video, because at the beginning, after like 5 or 10 minutes, I analyzed Bitcoin, and the only thing I can do in my videos is based on Elliott waves. I always give, at the end of the videos, I always talk about what is the highest probability Elliott wave scenario. But it's always a probability and never a certainty. It's also not financial advice, because everyone needs their own plan. On the 24th of August, Bitcoin will be 31,473 USDT. That might be possible or not. That is yet to be seen, because there are no certainties in trading. But it can be interesting for price to be that volatile and move to the upside. We don't know yet if it is possible or not, because we need more price action, and then we will assess the probabilities of that being true or not true. But one thing is for sure, and that is that in trading, nothing is sure. Just came to your channel through a colleague, maybe college. Till now, I learned CC. Currently, I'm learning ICT, but I always want to learn more about Elliott waves. Nice. Manta FPV, first person V. It's not an S, first person shooter. But welcome, Manta. Appreciate you being here, man. And yeah, good stuff. CC, ICT. There's lots of content out there to learn from. And if you want to learn more about Elliott waves, it's great to see. Great to see here. Thanks for being in the stream as well. ASM protocol. Actually, don't know what that is. How about bullish scenarios on the micro? Well, first of all, in the micro, what we want to see for a bullish scenario is a 5-wave structure. But this doesn't look very 5-wavy. It looks like more like a 3-wave structure. First of all, I don't really go to 1, 3, or 5 minute. I tend to stay on 15 minute or higher myself. But if we do go to the micro, like micro, okay, we do have a little range here, but can this be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? It can be for maybe an A, B, C, or a 1, 2, 3, because you then want to see an impulse. But if we go to the 15 minute, it's kind of difficult now to come up with a, like for the micro, I actually have to go to the hour already. Because the thing is that if we want to count this move to the downside and be bullish, you got to count, like, look, if you're thinking bullish, then from here you need to look for a 3-wave structure, not a 5. So this has to be some sort of a 3-wave move. And if we look at a 3-wave structure, that's not that one, this one, then a potential scenario I shared earlier today was this zigzag, where we then had 5 waves in A in a diagonal, zigzag in B, and then a wave C for another impulse, right? This was a potential scenario. But the most common target for wave C is between the 1 and the 1.236. And as just explained actually on stream, the rare target is the 1.618, which has the wrong color. It has to be gray, for a zigzag. And that is where we are now. Now remember, a zigzag is a 5-3-5. An impulse is also 5-3-5, but the second 5, which is a wave 3, goes down deeper. Wave C, most common target, 1 to the 1.236, but for a wave 3, you want to see the 1.618 hit. And the fact that price now hit the 1.618 increases the probabilities for a wave 3 compared to a wave C. So can we put wave Y down here and wave C here? Yes, we can. However, 1.618, rare for a wave C, common for a wave 3. Volume increasing while price is moving to the downside like this. Oh. It's all about probabilities. Can we do this? Sure. But the probabilities are at the moment not in favor of going back all the way. But moves to the downside happen in waves. So we have a move down, range, down, range, down, range, down, range, oh, down, range. So yeah, we observe the reaction. The 1.618 is still a target for a wave C. It's just rare. But for a wave 3, it's common. So that change, you know, that's why the probabilities are more in favor for downside. Yeah, bro, I'm still learning in that phase you mentioned you had where I'm perfecting the differences between WXY and ABCs. Thanks for the kind words about me, even though I pester you with questions. That's why Pistachio, mate, that's why you're in gold, man. You can ask me anything. I'll try to answer all the time. MT, good evening. What's happening here? We're live already for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Going to be the longest stream on this channel. Elliott Wave lecturing, yes, but also we spoke about life, very deep stuff. We spoke about setting goals in life. We spoke about Elliott Wave analysis at the beginning of the video, trading psychology, books, you know, the whole shebang. Bitcoin has a repetitive pattern. I got a OW of 26,230 USD for today. I don't know what an OW is, Ruperto Yugas. But yes, I mean, Bitcoin has a repetitive pattern. I mean, yeah, it like you can... Bitcoin, it never repeats, but it does rhyme. That's the quote. When will the next live stream be? I don't know. I do them randomly. Only for YouTube Gold, I have set dates, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And on Monday, we analyze a altcoin or any other pair with an Elliott Wave count from an empty chart to a full plan on an altcoin and whatnot. On Wednesday, it's theory, where I teach something, and on Friday, it's feedback and Q&A. On the 29th of September, price will be 42K. Possible, but there's no certainties, only probabilities. So we'll wait and see, because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. Maybe tomorrow morning, price is going to be 100K. Well, I don't know, right? Maybe. I wish you do face cam on your video every day. I know you keep saying it's distracting, but why not try something new, right? I think it will increase your viewers. Yeah, we spoke about that last time on Earth Kings and Chill, I remember. But maybe let's you know, it's unique for the live streams, I suppose, so people can follow the analysis. But you know, maybe it's worth trying sometime. Men just killed a woodpecker live on air. Yeah, I don't know, like fucking woodpecker. I already have 2 in my office now. I'll go after them. Like, I vacuum clean mosquitoes. I learned that from my neighbor when I was still living in student homes. So sometimes at night, in the evening, 8 p.m., I heard his vacuum cleaner. I'm like, mate, what the fuck are you doing at 8 p.m. with your vacuum cleaner? He's like, I'm going after the mosquitoes. I'm like, that's a great idea, because then I don't have to slap them and have blood on my walls and then clean the walls. I just suck them in the vacuum cleaner and be done with it. Since that moment, I've never slapped another mosquito. I always just vacuum clean them. There you go. We also spoke about mosquitoes and vacuum cleaner mosquitoes. Wave 4 and 5 to finish wave C or 2. 3, you probably mean. Because wave 2 is, I mean, unless it is a zigzag, wave 2, oh wait, depends on which wave 2. If it's a high time frame wave 2 or a zigzag. Of course, a zigzag also ends with a 4-5 and an impulse as well. Papa Live. I'm Russian but live in Thailand, trying to study Elliott Waves. My name is Sergei Prokhorov. Sorry, it was written in Russian. I know, it's like Russian names don't always translate to English, I suppose. I already long $50, 125x leverage. Good luck to me. I wish you good luck. 4-hour green candle is my confluence. Let's see, how much time? 19 minutes left. I used linear regression to get the price since 2 weeks and got a low today of 28,330. Used the T for 17.8. Yeah, maybe you're going to be correct. The low of 330 was over here. But yeah, we'll see, right? We don't know what's going to happen. But it's good that you have a plan, you have a strategy, Ruperto, and that is positive, right? You have a plan, you have a strategy, you have a certain way of analyzing the chart, and that's something I love to see. Everyone should have their own way of analysis. There's no strategy is better than another. It's all about the person, you know, like I know some strategies that some friends of mine use. I could never, you know, but they make it work. And I think one should always applaud any strategy someone is using because it's their strategy, their style, and if it works for them and it's profitable, it's good. What do you think about harmonic patterns? I think they are very valuable. I think it's good to learn harmonic patterns, but because I use Elliott waves, I never really got into harmonics because harmonics are just, harmonics are based on waves. And I know Elliott waves very well, so I tend to stick with Elliott waves. But I think that Wyckoff, harmonics, and Elliott waves can be used very efficiently together. But I just, I know Elliott waves very well, and I guess that made me maybe a bit lazy in trying to study harmonics. I never really got into it. Brian Nijman, goed uit Rotterdam. Dat is vlakbij, man. Ik woon in Gouda. Knetter. Dat is vlakbij. Dat is 25 minuten met de trein. Ik ben regelmatig in Rotterdam ook. Dus goed uit Rotterdam. Greetings from Rotterdam. Greetings back. I live nearby. The bullish scenario on the macro. You make sure to check my macro video that I recorded last Sunday, because I can't go over it in like the whole thing in this video, but that would mean the low of a wave 2 or 4, depends on what you count before, but in this scenario 1, 2, you expect new all-time highs. The problem I have at the moment is that the time it takes for price to move to the upside and the volume. But in both the bearish and the bullish scenario, in the bullish one, I still expect upside. But in the bearish one, based on Elliott waves, I also still expect upside. But then it's going to be a 5-3-5 corrective structure. And in a bullish scenario, you want to see a 1-2-3, right? So it very much depends on if price can get between 39 and 50K, which is this area over here. It's going to be very important for the macro perspective. And it's going to be very interesting as well. Goed uit Zoetermeer. Okay, there we go. All the Dutchies. Goed uit Utrecht. Utrecht is also nearby. Dichtbij. Utrecht, 25 minuten. I went to the cinema in Utrecht last week. Utrecht Leidse Rijn. Yo, look at them go. I love Utrecht. I love the canals. It's great. Zoetermeer, I can't really remember it too well, but let me check. Where is it again? Wait, it's near. Look, it's not even far. Mate, I don't look. Look, guys, I have an excuse. I'm living in Gouda for 1 year and a few months now, so I had no idea Zoetermeer was literally next door. So I live in Gouda. Zoetermeer is nearby. Rotterdam and Utrecht. Look at that. The viewers are literally surrounding my ass here. They're around the nearby cities. How about that? Wave 3 targets. currently we are on one of the targets. Wait, not that one. This one over here. So for a wave 3, the minimum target, so wave 3 rules, right? Or I won't go through all the rules, but wave 3 is never allowed to be the shortest wave. Also, most commonly, a wave 3 will at least hit the 1.618, which is always an important target, and you will always see a little bit of a reaction at the 1.618. If it doesn't hold, next target 2.618. So the 1.618 is usually a minimum target for wave 3, which price has hit. But then we can go to the lower time frames, observe the price action that we have, and assess the probabilities for this being the low of 3 or not. At the moment, price is continuing making lower lows on higher volume. And what you want to see in a wave 3 is, of course, you want to see an impulse, because a wave 1, wave 3, and a wave 5 are impulsive structures by themselves, which means that inside a wave 3, you want to see a 5-wave structure to the downside, where wave 5, which is by far most common, wave 5 has less volume than wave 3. The fact that this low has the highest amount of volume at the moment in this trend to the downside gives higher probabilities for price to at least make another low, maybe on lower volume, to then have the potential for a wave 5 of wave 3, to then start the green 4 and then the green 5. I got some calculations and got cyclus 29 December 24, but that target I will not write here. I'm seeing, however, confirmation. Yeah, take it step by step, Roberto. Maybe later this month we'll be at 31, and maybe in December, you know, like if 31 is hit later this month, if that is your plan, then maybe it validates the scenario to go to your December target. Edward, how you doing? Edward Park in the house as well. It's confusing. Every now that I see Edward Park, I always forget your Discord name. Some people have a Discord name but are called different on YouTube. It's not easy to follow. Pauli Strijk dus, Utrecht. Gabriel Charalu. This is wave 3 of wave C. For me, the bottom for this dump should be in the next 10 days. I can imagine it. Yeah, it might be around the next 10 days. I wouldn't be surprised if that is correct. Where's my FIP time? 19. Oh, that's 2 days minimum. Yeah, I think the next 10 days could be. Yeah, could be. Well, I'm curious how price is going to develop. That's also with trading. You need to be a curious person, right? In trading, curious about what the chart is going to do. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe in the next 10 days. That sounds plausible. 26.3k is also a nice level. Some good confluence in this area over here. So yeah, it could be interesting. Yeah, man. Yeah, we spoke about face. I mean, there was one person talking about face cams. So no wonder you achieved amazing things before your 30s. I don't know. Like, I guess throughout my career in esports and gaming, my medical study and YouTube, I guess some stuff I have achieved, but I guess that's another thing. You always aim for higher. And you always compare with people above you. Rarely ever do you compare with people that might not yet be where you are, but aspire to be where you are. And I think there's a great video online, which I don't know what to search for to find it, but it's a person that it starts with it's an animated video where you see a person in a wheelchair, and then you see a person walking, and then the person that's walking is walking with like support. And then you see a person running. And then the person that is running sees someone on a bicycle. The one that is on the bicycle sees someone in a car. What the video is telling us is that in each of these stages, someone wants to go up to the next level, as that is their goal. But when they look behind them, they don't really realize, like, if you can walk compared to someone that might not be able to walk, it's a luxury. But the only thing you're thinking about is, I want to be able to run. The runner is going to be like, I want to be able to bike, but I might not have the money. But they don't look at people that can't run. So, perspective. But yeah, I think success should be celebrated, and my fiance is better in doing that. Like when I reach something or achieve something, she reminds me, and we go for dinner. She is more like the person that keeps me like, hey, you achieved something, let's celebrate it. I think that's important as well. You know, many thanks. I learned from you the last days, more important techniques. Happy to help, Ruperto. Great to hear. Have you tried Forex? No. Harmonic and Elliott waves seems the same. Yeah, it's just that. So you could almost say that harmonics is based on Elliott waves, but that's because harmonics are based on wave structures and Elliott waves as well. So it just supports one another. 26.3K the bottom, then 38, and by the end of September 23. Yeah, maybe. 23. That would be a probably medium time frame wave Y. Very difficult to have that as a scenario, because this is what you're then looking for. Wait, what did you say? 26.3, 38, 23. From an Elliott wave point of view, there's two scenarios here, in my opinion, which is, let me find these. This one, where we already have the low in, and this move to the upside is then labeled as a wave 1 or A. Eventually, you're going to be looking for wherever the low of 2 or B is, and then you're going to look for upside in a C or a 3. Or this scenario, where you have an A or 1, 3 wave structure for a 2 or B. But that means that this is then a wave A, a B, or a WX, for then a Y or a C. C is then an impulse, wave Y is a 3-wave structure. But in a wave Y, you like to have simple structures, right? So then the simple structure you're referring to should be a zigzag, and then a 5, 3, 5-wave structure to the downside. Time-wise, wave Y is then going to be very, very long, and that might be a little bit of an issue compared to this then over here being W. This is X, and then you have a because the low is likely not yet in, but then you have an A, B, C. So wave Y is going to be very big, but we take it step by step, and we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I like to hang out on the lower time frames to see what's happening here. What's happening on the CVD? What's up? Quickly refresh. Higher low price, lower low CVD, but you know, we're in a downtrending market. Highest volume low here, lower probabilities to play out, but you know, if it does play out, then we call it played out if it takes the high there. But just like in this range over here, yes, we had a bullish CVD, but we also had bearish over here and bearish over here. And in a downtrending market, bullish CVD tends to be leading, also because it was at that moment in time the highest volume candle, just like it is now. So bearish CVD are more trustworthy at the moment. Market is testing the patience. Yup. De naam van dat boek. You mean the mental book? It's called The Mental Game of Trading. That's the one I've read already last week, but now I'm working on it. What football team do you support? None. I don't follow football. I'm a simple man. 10 Regrets. Oh, wait, that's the book. Oh, wow, I'm behind on chat, eh? Yes, that 10 Regrets. Okay, that might be the book. Yeah, 10 Regrets. top 5 regrets of dying. Maybe that's the one. I don't really know. But that might be the book where they ask questions to what did you regret the most and what did you value the most. I swear I heard the same voice as you. Maybe Dutch quite. Yeah, maybe it sounds quite the same. 3 hours in, that's awesome. Yeah, holy moly, lots of info in here. Oh yeah, call from the moon. There you go. It's not always easy. I can tell you love your fiance. I do. I am Ray from India. Welcome, Ray from India. Koenz Trading, I will tell you the price in the next 40 days, but you told me based on Elliott Waves. No. Based on Elliott Waves, I never had the scenario of 26.2, then back to 30, and then 23. The scenario where we go back to 30.6 was one in the past, where price was pumping here. That was the moment we could think about 29, 36, and then go down. But now price already moved down, so that scenario is invalidated at the moment, because then you wanted to see continuation, but we never got to 36. We moved down before. How about macro bullish? I already went over that just now, but the macro bullish scenario, the macro and high time frame video is in the playlist on YouTube. Can you explain a little bit about USDT? I'm interacting with the chat at the moment. I rarely can do other coins on stream, and also especially coins that I've never done an analysis on take a lot of time. I don't have the time to do that during the day as well because of my schedule and everything I do. And that's I don't want to sound salesy, but it's because I don't enjoy that. But every Monday I do a coin coverage live stream for the YouTube Gold members where we go over an altcoin that most of the people voted for, like all the members of Gold. Because on Monday evening, I set time in my agenda specifically to do a full analysis on an altcoin, a stock, a commodity, or whatever that people vote for. The most votes is the chart that I will do that night. Full Elliott Wave plan, from an empty chart to a full plan. Not all the way down to the 50-minute, but to like the daily, to maybe 4 hour, depending on the chart. According to my cyclist today, we shall get the lowest low. Then from 28, so in 3 days, a new cyclist shall start bullish. Just check if that works. Yeah, that could be interesting. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Potentially that is true with the medium time frame target. The 1-to-1 is at least usually a minimum target for wave C for a low, which is currently in 2 days. However, it doesn't mean the low will be here because we don't know if this wave C will end here or if this is a wave C of a bigger move to the downside as explained on the high time frame for lower prices. That is yet to be seen. It all depends on how price is going to do this. Do you offer the FIB presets in gold? Yeah, I do actually have a full video on all of my Fibonacci templates and presets that I have over here, but I will or am currently working on a well, that's actually an Elliott Wave video. I'm currently working on a full Elliott Wave masterclass video for YouTube. I'm actually already working on it for quite a while. Need to find some time sometimes where I go through all the different scenarios with all the different fibs, fib time, targets, rare common, like the whole thing from impulses to complex to ABC to like a whole, probably is going to be more than an hour, a whole video fully dedicated to all of the Elliott Wave patterns with the targets, with the fibs, with the volume that you have to look for, with the fib time, all the good stuff. But the presets, yeah, I have a video about that in the gold. 10 regrets of the patients. People were dying and someone made an interview. Yes. Why Dutch is like a German? For Dutch people, German sounds quite different, but there are similarities between German and Dutch, absolutely. Also French and Dutch, but it's, I guess maybe for people outside of Europe, it might sound quite similar. Are you able to have a look at FTT, BUSD on the daily, weekly? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. Looks like Red Doji. Looks like it's, it is, eh? It is. Well, it starts, 20 seconds left. Hey, thought I joined late. 60 minutes later, you're still going at it. Yeah, I know, right? I love streaming, man. Look, I should actually do it more often. It's just a time thing. You know, I'm online for 3 hours now, but I love it. Of course, I can live stream for half an hour or an hour. But now 3 hours in, it's 10 p.m. Hey, ho. Still have to eat. Didn't have dinner yet. Look at me go. But we're going to have soup, so it's going to be simple. So I gotta stop soon. Also, thanks to your Discord and John, I discovered trading levels, trading large, and I'm ready. Nice. Good to hear. Yeah, John is a great trader, Gumi. So John is a Discord member, or he is in Discord, and he is a great Elliott Wave counter on the very low time frames. And yeah, he's great. Also KG, I think KG is very good as well in Elliott Waves. Thanks for your positive response, sir. Love from India. Always a pleasure, Season Sangeet. Many thanks. I wish you a great night. Hope to see you again live soon. Greetings from Germany. Bratwurst. Kugelschreiber. Schmetterling. Oh, love German, man. I'm in German sometimes for esports as well because of the events. But yeah, gotta love German. My blessings and greetings to the Germans out there. We're neighbors. We got to take care of one another, no? Okay. Not gonna lie. This is the most views I ever had at least in a live stream. Even though we are with 84 concurrent viewers, the views rate, the total amount of views, is 1180. Wow. Holy shit, guys. Thanks so much. It's been consistent around 80. At the beginning, it was like 100 or something. Yeah. 100 to 150, and then it stayed stable at 80. Your support is incredible. I'm going to call it a night. It's 10 p.m. We've been online for 3 hours. Gonna have my soup with my fiance, chill a little bit, and get to bed, because tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. there's going to be another video. So I will wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning behind my PC at 6:15 a.m. Analyze the charts, start recording between 6:30 and 6:15 a.m. Video online around 7 a.m. in the morning. That is the plan. So yeah, everything has been said. For the people that are looking for the analysis of Elliott Waves, go to the beginning of this video, because there I spoke about the highest probabilities at the moment and the different scenarios that we have going on. Make sure that whatever you do, you trade safe, proper risk management. Everyone that was here, thanks. Honor, King's Chill, Pistachio, Nick, Parin, Truste, Nederlander, Gummy, Manta, Baba Cheeks. Baba Cheeks maybe just jumps in while I'm ending, but hey, you have 3 hours of content to go through. Holy moly, Florian Sauer, thanks, man. Guys, I wish you a great night or morning or afternoon or wherever you are from the world. You know, everyone lives somewhere else. Thanks for making this a great live stream. I very much enjoyed it. And yeah, if you want to see the analysis, go to the beginning of the video. But gonna call it a night. So I really missed this. You can go back. You can go back, Emanuele Wuga. Good to see you at least. Good that I at least had the opportunity to mention your beautiful name here on YouTube. I love it. Emmanuel Ewuga. Okay. Thanks for, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for all of your support. I hope the stream was helpful and valuable to you all. And yeah, I hope you have a good time. Make sure you trade safe. And we will see what the price is going to do before the weekend tomorrow. It's going to be Friday. Maybe we're going to have a ranging weekend. We will see. But for now, thanks for watching. Thanks for participating. And yeah, hopefully see you soon again during another live stream. Bye-bye.